All right, just gonna hope YouTube is receiving it this time because I'm also used to it just being crappy. Okay, it's starting. All right. Hello
Oh,
everyone
good.
and welcome to VYTALCast number 86 with Kenway or GhostBoyKen. And
Either way is fine.
yeah,
I go with it usually.
I just wanted to give like the full name plug so if anyone happens to Google one or the other, you're likely to pop up.
Oh, hey, thanks.
Yeah. So, uh should we start? I got this new handy slideshow that you and I were talking about
Is
beforehand.
it working? Did you get it?
I could pop it up on screen and we'll be like, hey, look at these two people, and then oh, it immediately switched. Um, so I I hate this so much. Okay, let me let me quickly go to properties, and then I'll switch it from there we oh it restarted it. Okay, I can't use it as a pausing. I can't use that as a
Look, this
pausing.
is this is what you get for inviting me to your show.
Yeah.
Everything's gonna be broken now. This is the Kenway way of life.
Can't wait of life.
Everything will break, everything will go wrong, and we are just gonna have to bite our tongues and get through it.
Something happened during the panel or right before the panel we were on, right? With the mics or something? With the camera.
Probably. I don't remember. I've kind of blocked a lot of everything that's happened to me in the last year out of my mind.
That's fair.
But probably, yeah, I imagine we had some kind of technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Hence why we brought our own entire setup to record it separately from theirs.
Yeah, that's one thing I wish RTX would kind of work out a little better is their setup. I mean, this year I would say was an upgrade to from the year before
Sure.
cuz talking into the mics actually went to the overhead speakers for the
Did
audience
that
to
not
hear you.
happen before?
Yeah, in 2018 they didn't do that. They only went to the mixer live stream, and the sound quality was at the mercy of the guardian in control of that laptop. And
Right, which are all volunteers who don't really know what they're doing.
he didn't know what a stream
Bless,
key
bless their
was.
hearts, but a lot of
Yeah.
them have no clue.
Yeah, no, I felt bad that day because I kind of turned into like a little diva because I at the time I was working at a music studio and I was in charge of the video production and live streams, and I was like,
Sure.
he was like, hey, what's a stream key? How do you get there? I'm like,
Oh no.
boy howdy, and I go
Oh
over there.
no.
I'm like, where's your stream key? Oh, this. I'm like, okay, copy, and then I went to the thing, paste, and then when we were doing the sound check, it should have been the other way around. It was me at the microphones going check check, and him at the computer going, yeah, those levels look all right. It should have been the other
Sure.
way around. It should have been me at the computer looking at the sound levels first with him doing that. But anyway,
Yeah, no
that's
kidding.
that was 2018. Yeah. Um, anyway, back to the not so handy dandy slideshow picture on the screen. Um, we got those two Faunus people on the screen, which they had two
Oh, I can
seconds
see
of
that
screen time.
if I look over at the stream. Yeah, good.
Yeah,
Look at that. Look at me being
yeah.
on top of things. This isn't my first day on the
Hey, bro.
job. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, these two Faunus they were on screen for like 2 seconds, and a lot of people have been sort of talking about them. I mean, understandably so. The girl's quite cute, and they have
Yeah, I mean,
binoculars.
that was exactly what I was just about to say. Also, their binoculars are dope.
Yeah, yeah. So, like, a lot of people are kind of guessing they're connected to Robin Hill, that mystery lady from the intro.
Very much could be. I honestly, here's here's how short of a time they were on screen. I've watched this episode twice now, and I don't remember them at all. So I guess this is one of those like they blew by him quickly enough that I was like, huh? But
I
there, yeah, I like
I'm
the
a
girl on the
hundred
left.
percent with you. Because when I recorded my review video, I totally like spaced out on them,
Right over it,
and
yeah.
and then I was rewatching the episode today to grab these screenshots, and I was like, oh crap, yeah, those guys,
Oh no.
they're a talking point. So, also
Eh.
I want to say hello to Stephen Rawlings in my chat because
Steven!
he was one of my
Boy!
first Rooster Teeth site friends that I made, and he and I met in the funniest way possible at RTX. We were waiting in line to meet was it Jeff Ramsey, or it was either Jeff Ramsey,
somebody
in the Ramsey family, or it was Gus and Joel, and we might have been in separate lines, but they had like a little waiting area where y'all wait, and then they siphon you into your different lines, and he and I were standing next to each other for like 5 minutes, and then he just looks over to me. He's like, "David?" And I'm like, "Steven?" Yeah. And honestly,
That's
like
good.
seeing Steven is like one of the biggest highlights for me every year going to RTX. Is just finding him. Yeah.
He's a sweet boy.
Yeah, definitely so. And
I remember because he's also separately a friend of mine, and when we announced the panel, and he messaged me and was like, "How do you know David?" It's all confused.
Answer, at the
small,
time,
it was a
we
really
didn't.
small world moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Steven's awesome. He's like, "Stop crying." Also, Verif is like, binoculars on brand. They have a logo on them. Hold on, let me open my file so I can like.
Yeah, can you zip up on it? Because I see that she's got a logo, I thought, on her, like her coat or her jacket.
Yeah, the jacket one I noticed. On the binoculars I didn't. Get back there. Yeah, no, I only noticed like the little pin on her thing. And is it just me, or is that a robin pin? Like, it looks like that bird is a robin. So
Maybe
it could be another great example of how this volume's been just like giving us answers in small details.
Dude, so this okay, so I teased you with this a little bit in the pre-show while we were hanging out, the secret pre-show that no one will ever see, and I'm putting that one in the vault just for me forever. But this season almost feels like a completely different show. Like, they have taken the anime meter and cranked it up to 11 in so many different ways. Like, even just as far as like this episode specifically has 2 or 3 moments where there's like this really goofy thing happens, and there's a hard close up on the character, and like big words come across the screen. Like, they've just like even these 4 episodes of the show, there have been so many more like of those like stereotypical over the top anime moments that I've seen in the entire history of RWBY.
It felt very close to what they were trying to do with their comedy back in Volume 1.
Sure, yeah.
Because in Volume 1, there was like, in like Chapter 2, there was like, RWBY turns into this little like chibi fairy thing, and she's like all looking at
that's
all
right,
the
I forgot about that
stuff. Yeah, it reminded me of a lot of that. Or like which she like makes the whole face thing when she sees Weiss at the beginning.
Yeah. Well, that we got like so we got the anime eyes very early in the first episode of Volume 7. I think it was. You get what is it, Jean, I think, and RWBY, both like the eyes go half their size and they do the twinkly. That was the first moment where I was like, okay, we're doing that apparently, and then it just keeps getting like more and more and more, and I'm here for it. It's great. It was just weird.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. And also I agree with Lee. She says she wants to adopt the lamb girl.
Yes, absolutely.
Protect
I will give Lamb Girl a home.
Yeah. So now if I could try to turn on the stinking slideshow and, you know, like
see if you can capture just for a second to get the next slide up.
Yeah. The problem is it won't pause like I want it to.
Well, you'd think there'd be like a hotkey for that.
Yeah. OBS. I mean, I'm using Streamlabs OBS, and they're like, "Oh yeah, the manual way you to have it switch, you want it to be like set it to a hotkey, and then you go to your hotkeys, and there's no hotkey option to switching the slides. So here I am turning it to automatic, putting it on stop slideshow when you hide it from the screen, so we could still have like the next slide ready." Sorry, lately Streamlabs OBS has been getting to me. Like, when it first came out, I'm like, this is the perfect streaming program. And now it's like,
oh yeah, for sure,
turning into the iTunes of streaming programs, where it's like throwing too much crap on it, and it's stripped away features in the process. And
I just like, not to get like too technical and nerdy, but like I think I made a Streamlabs account. And I used it for all of 10 minutes and was like, this is not how this should work, and deleted it immediately. I was like, I'm done with this.
I mean, I like their widgets. Their widgets are nice, but Streamlabs OBS, you're on your last legs right now. but it's
This
still
slideshow thing, I'm
in
done with it.
beta. It's still in beta, but I'm just anyway.
I feel like that's just companies' excuses now for we made a bad product and but we don't want to tell you yet.
yeah. It also known as RWBY Volume 5.
Oh.
Nah.
Oh, 5 is the one you have a problem with?
I mean, that's the one that like they admitted was very rushed and they didn't have a whole lot of time to work on.
To be fair, I am like, as of the last couple of years here, I am very like surface level with RWBY. Like I haven't really paid a whole lot of attention to like fan reactions and stuff.
Yeah.
Also, up until Wednesday, I hadn't seen anything past the first episode of Volume 5. So between Wednesday and now, I binged all of 5, 6, and where we're up to in 7.
Yeah. Okay, I would say 5 is best in its like long form, or if you binge from beginning to end, but episodically, it was
sure. Which is how I watched it. I watched it like all the way through, and after how slow 4 was, I had been kind of worried about it. But like now that I've seen everything, I was like, wow, 4 was really slow because it spent the entire thing setting up everything to hit the fan in 5.
Yeah,
I have had an emotional week. Watching 5 and 6 essentially over the course of 2 days back to back is a lot for your heart to handle if you've never seen
like
them
volume
before.
6 is just like a train wreck. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. There were some emotions. I don't think I've been that upset about just watching shows since I made the mistake of at RTX a few years ago watching the season finale of Volume 3 and Red vs. Blue season 13 back to back on the same day.
What a year that
having
was.
never seen either one of them.
Yeah. That was having those two finales back to back was a rough one, but a good one.
Yeah.
Also, I want to say hello to fellow RWBY tuber Dashie Lee in the chat. She's like, so I pop in and boom, David in that with that shade, and it's like you came in when I made a crack joke because of Streamlabs OBS, and I did throw Volume 5 under the bus in the process.
Yeah, I was gonna say you also threw Volume 5 hard under the bus.
Yeah.
I thought it was fine. For verification, I enjoyed it, but I did watch it in a much different setting than everybody else did.
It is enjoyable. It's just the bottom of my list when I rank the volumes. So
really, wow, yeah. Okay, fair enough.
I like the ending a lot. Like I love the last bit, but a lot of the middle bit, I was just like, okay. So anyway, I got this next slideshow.
We're off.
Yeah, we got next on the slideshow, like Jean. Speaking of the comedy we were talking about, like Jean being an energetic boy this last chapter. And
so you want to talk about throwing shade? Can we just talk about Jean in this whole arc at all?
Yeah, sure.
I want to know. And maybe I'm alone. I'm sure I'm the only person on the entire internet that feels this way. But like whoever was in charge of redesigning Jean, I hate you to your core.
I'm friends with that person.
I'm sure you're a fantastic human being.
Yeah.
But I hate all of the choices about Jean's new design in Volume 7.
I was at first with you, like I was like, oh man, that hair, especially because of the concept art. But
it's not even just that, like it's the hair bothers me to no end. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It completely like it doesn't even look like him anymore. But on top of that, he's like bulkier now too. Like he's not like Lil Jon with the kind of emo cut. Lil Jon.
Yeah.
With the kind of emo cut who's like a soft boy, but he's working through his stuff and he's like got his own story of him like coming to greatness, right?
Yeah.
Then now all of a sudden he looks like Cardin. Yeah. Almost. He had like the short douchey hair. That was
immediately my first impression was he looked like Cardin Winchester.
And like he has that weird like triangle boy thing where like his shoulders are really broad and wide, and then his waist is like 2 inches. Like he's like a completely different person. America. Yeah, like I almost didn't recognize him at first. I'm like, I don't. It's bothering because it bothers me because he's one of my favorite people on that show because I connect with him.
Dude, I mean, I freaking wore him like, in a dress to RTX. I love him.
That's right.
As well. Yeah.
Like Jean and Blake, I connect with those characters so much for so many reasons, and seeing him like I just feel like it just feels like it's not the same character anymore, and it bothers me. And maybe that'll change when he gets like more screen time throughout the arc. But
I think next episode there's kind of a guess with something like I don't know if you went to the RWBY panel at RTX this year.
I didn't because I was way behind, so I didn't want any spoilers.
Yeah, that's fair. So Miles, when he was asked like if you could describe Volume 7 in 3 words, he said really thirsty moms. And everyone was like, man, like we're guessing it's Weiss's mother, right? And now that we've had this most recent episode, everyone's like, actually, this might be Jean when he's escorting like the kids to school, and all their moms are just like, oh, that's Jean Arc. Like, ooh, they're like, oh man. They're like, someone forget the milkman, it's all about Jean Arc. But,
the milkman.
So the it's I wonder if the next episode is when we get to really have his looks sold to us. And
yeah, and I'm sure like we'll hit the point where I'm like, okay, I guess I'm okay with it now. But it just feels like it felt really drastic, especially watching from 5 through 7, like all so close in proximity to each other.
Yeah.
But it's like over the course of a day in real time, he goes from like tiny emo boy Jean to like big beefy boy Jean in a matter of a couple hours. Like it's just a really jarring thing to me.
Yeah, it was for a lot of us when we saw like the concept art, and I was just, I low key was like, ouch. I feel a bit betrayed, but now it's been growing on me, and it's like, okay,
sure.
I think Sean will grow into this look, as you kind of said, as he.
Well, granted, I'm on day 2 of having Jean like this in my life.
Yeah, you haven't had time to process the new Sean. Yeah.
Also, I do want to call out in chat Dashy Lee again. I just shade cast is accurate, but then also Jean becomes pool boy for Remnant Mills, confirmed.
Yeah, and the Sean, I'm about to steal this whole man's style. Yeah, and also Inspector Who, welcome late. You're always welcome.
Always welcome.
Yeah, I'm hoping I'm starting to like his style, and I am happy that I coincidentally already have a cosplay wig that works for his new hair.
There you go. You go.
Yeah,
lucked out.
Yeah, it's working out, and I like his boots. His boots, I have to say, are the biggest improvement for his new look.
I'll have to look. I don't know that I paid that much attention to his boots. I was too busy staring at his chest and trying to figure out who he is.
Yeah. So he went from like these like Vans pretty much to then volume 4 through 6 where like the Vans had grown up his calf to now proper boots. It's like finally something I could find in a store, so that was the biggest struggle with his volume 4 look, was like, where do I find those? And I like try to Google them. I'm like, I can't find what I'm trying to Google.
Right, I need these.
Yeah.
So real quick, so a lot of my timelines might be a little bit off because I watched all of this the course of 2 or 3 days. The episode where we got a bunch of Mercury backstory, was that in 6 still, or was that in 7?
Mercury, like Mercury Black, the guy with the robot legs.
Yeah, we got like a bunch of his like his sad backstory. Yeah, and I don't remember if that was like towards the tail end of 6 or at the beginning.
Are you talking about when he's telling it to Emerald?
Yeah, to Emerald.
That's in volume 6. Yeah.
Okay, that is last. Okay, so that's a ways past. I was just very happy to get more Mercury. I like that character a lot.
Oh yeah. I'm hoping that he and Emerald will make a comeback. So, and I said volume 3, and everyone's like, well, volume 3 did show us, which is why that's the scene. That's the episode I think of as like the villain episode back in volume 3, but yeah, I really like Mercury as well, and he's voiced by Yuri Lowenthal. I think I'm pronouncing that right.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The guy who's Spider-Man from the PlayStation 4.
Yeah. And as soon as you said the name, I was like, wait a minute.
Also, like Sasuke Uchiha, apparently, from Naruto. And I'm like,
yeah,
man,
that one I did know.
Like, little did I know, he just voices my childhood, and I'm just like, wow.
Yeah. Well, I've really liked him from just a character style ever since his first appearance. But like the more Mercury that we get, I'm like, man, this is actually like a decent, like a really well done character, and I'm like thirsty to get more of him on screen.
Yeah. He's been one I've been like cosplay curious about. It's like, man, if I had more money to like do another character from RWBY, Mercury is up there on my list.
Oh yeah. The Mercury is like the reason that I've been like trying to lose weight for years. I really want to do a really good Mercury cosplay.
That was Jean for me, and I don't know how or why, but for years it was just not working until this year. I just like did
Yeah.
it, I guess.
You looked great at RTX this year.
Thanks.
That's killer.
Yeah, I've been trying to like maintain and improve since then, and I think these last few weeks I've been slacking because of snow. But anyway, back to like Jean and like
I am like the tangent master. I'm so sorry.
no, that's VYTALCast in a nutshell. It's like, oh yeah,
good. So I'm not out of place,
and then we
you're
get
saying.
off topic. Okay, so Nora and like her admiration of Elm, you know,
With thunder thighs.
thunder thighs. Yeah, I loved that so much, and I was also
one of
like,
those great like anime crank to 11 moments.
yeah,
Yes, you have a slide for it.
yeah. I mean, how do I rewatch that episode and not screenshot
And not
that
grab
for the
that one,
slideshow?
yeah.
Like, it'd be a sin.
Well,
They'd be like, "All right,
then,
David, you're a fake fan. Get out of here."
And to go back to your comment on like how they are trying to fit some of that like season 1 humor kind of back in. So she does the thunder thighs thing, and then the camera pulls out, and you just see Ren walk up and pick her up and swing her swing her over the side and walk away with her. I about, oh my god, I laughed so hard.
Yeah.
I love Nora anyway, but
Mhm.
that moment of Ren just walking up and just come on.
Yeah,
That was good.
I love how like their dynamic is starting to come back, because I feel like volumes 5 and 6 we missed out on that a little bit.
Yeah.
On like just their contrast of her just being all the energy, and then him just being like, all right, time to like reel you in, you know? Like,
Yeah. Well, and to be fair, I mean, things got pretty grim there for a couple seasons.
Yeah. Oh, also, I'm Dashi Lee is saying we're getting a bit of echo. I don't know if that's because you're not wearing headphones or.
It might be. I've got some.
Just
within
AirPods. Just flex on us with AirPods or something.
I mean, I could do that. I got them sweet AirPod Pros yesterday.
Oh dang. I was joking, but I didn't think you actually had them.
Because I'm an idiot and I had AirPods and I lost one of them on a business on like a work trip.
Oof.
So that's how my week is going. I lost a singular AirPod.
Actually, I found a singular AirPod in Salt Lake during FanX or GamingCon, you know.
Let me see if I just turn you down a little bit, if that helps, because I can't. I'm not sure which
because like I could barely hear it on my end, so I bet they don't hear it as much. But
let us know if that's better.
Here, I'll talk super loud. Is there an echo? No, there's not. I can't hear.
Sorry, I'm ruining your show.
Don't worry. It's usually me or Slobs ruining the quality of my show. So.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, and Verif in the chat, he's pointing out that like Thunder Thighs was a chibi joke at first, so it was nice to like bring it back. Yeah, I like the callbacks.
I must have forgotten about it. I love chibi, but
yeah.
I think I might have, if that was in the season 3. I don't know if I ever actually watched that one. I just know that it got, because I usually wait for for a lot of the animation stuff to get to the end of the season, and then I binge it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I forgot about that joke in chibi, mainly because like I've seen Thunder Thighs used more as a joke from like female cosplayers or just girls on the internet just being like, oh, I got Thunder Thighs, and like them joking about destroying people's heads with their thighs. Like whenever someone makes like a gross comment towards them, they just send like a gif of like a lady squeezing a watermelon with her thighs and destroying them. She's like, Thunder Thighs. She's like, I will murder you with them. So that's what I thought of. I totally didn't think about the chibi reference until when I was watching Arnold's stream earlier today.
Oh wait, I might have found him. Hang on. My desk is a mess right now.
I feel that.
I've been gone for work for the last 2.5 weeks, and I just have not had time to clean anything up.
Yeah, I feel that. I got like Yang sunglasses. I got Joy-Cons. I got like Q-tips for. I think I was cleaning my keyboard. I got like USB stuff. I got flowers on my desk too, like fake flowers. They're not even mine. Anyway, I understand. Are you able to hear me now?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Beautiful. And I sound the same as I did before, right?
Yes. Yeah. I would have been like, oh, you sound different. But
all right, cool. No more speaker. We're now in the headphones.
yeah.
Hopefully that fixes that issue, and now I can actually turn you back up so I can hear you again.
And we could go back to our Nora appreciation.
Nora is so great. I work in a industry where I get to see a lot of cosplayers, and every time I see a good Nora cosplay, my heart just like melts.
Dude,
she's such a great character.
Like, I don't know if I could pull it up on Google right now, but or not Google, but Chrome. My friend Ashley, she does an amazing, amazing Nora cosplay, and it's funny. I Google her username, and the first thing that pops up is VYTALCast from the one time she's on here. Yeah.
Look at you and that sweet SEO. You're doing something right.
Thanks, internet.
And also, speaking of RWBY cosplays in general, can I just say, like, okay, Rooster Teeth's had a rough year. We all know it.
Yeah.
But can I just, like, whoever's idea it was, someone in that company is not getting paid enough money, because whoever's idea it was to actually start making like the Nora cosplay jacket and the RWBY scythe and the RWBY hood and like the actual like really good like cosplay items, that guy is whoever that is. They deserve more money, because that is such a genius idea for a show like theirs.
You know what's a crime? You know her like gym outfit from Volume 2? That's on the clearance section for the RT site right now.
That's so sad.
You could get that whole look for like $10.
Oh my god.
Oh, you know what? So, hey everybody, welcome to VYTALCast, where David suddenly remembers something that he should buy and is now going, I should probably buy that. Not for myself to wear, but... Oh, did I accidentally click on RTX? Dang it. I meant to click on RT Store, and I clicked on RTX. Because I was like, oh, hey, speaking of Ashley, that'd probably be a good Christmas gift. Ashley, if you're watching this, stop.
Stop.
Like...
Yeah. Well, we should probably stick off of the RTX topic, because that's going to turn this into Shadecast V3. We're gonna skip V2 and go straight to V3, because I got some words about RTX this year already.
Like 2020 RTX?
Yeah, about like the upcoming one. I'm real mad about a lot of things.
Is it because it's on the 4th of July weekend?
I have a lot of feelings about the dates that they scheduled for,
the 4th of July weekend. Yeah. That was this year too, like 4th of July weekend. Hey, so I apologize, everyone. I kind of lied. Did I say you could get the look for $10? I meant just under $5.
Is it really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you drop a link in Discord? I want to see this.
Yeah. It's, keep in mind, like, I'm looking specifically at the bands right now. I'm trying to find like the shirt and the shorts. Yeah, how about that Nora and RWBY? Dude, I love Nora so much. She, like, RWBY just goes like, hey, if there's gonna be any sort of redhead character, you're gonna like love her, because we just know how to like make them the best like, girl.
Like, I mean, obviously, like, I would hope no one's coming here not expecting your spoilers in general, but like the return of Penny, I am so happy,
dude. That made me very happy. I was also very shocked with like that being in the first episode of Volume 7. Like, everyone's like, oh, that'll be like maybe the middle of the volume, maybe at the end, like they'll do something big with it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what?
My fiance looked at me like I was crazy. Although like she loves Penny too, but when she came on screens, I was just like, salutations.
Yeah. Gosh, it was I loved her so much, and I actually memed it. Like, I don't know if you know JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
I don't.
There's a scene where Jotaro meets Dio, and I like just replaced all the dialogue between RWBY and Penny when they first meet, and like put the JoJo dialogue over them. And I also made like Penny say "Begone thought" and then tackle RWBY. It was a very short clip, but it was like I was on some sort of crack when I did it. I was just like, it's 3 a.m. and I'm just gonna like meme this.
$4.79.
Yeah. If they still
Wow.
had the booty shorts and the shirt, I would have totally bought like the whole set. I would
The
have bought
whole
two of
thing.
the whole set. One for myself, one for Ashley. Inspector who was like, David, wear that to the VYTALCast
I
panel
could see
next
it.
year.
Yeah, I'd stand that.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, I totally would if they had the whole thing. I mean, I could probably get like a plain white shirt and vinyl it, but also, uh, sorry to move on from like best girls. What do you think of Harriet and like what she said in this last chapter
Oh, about the
to T. Marie?
like. So, so you
We're
mean like
not
the we're
friends.
not friends? You know, like protect. I trust them to protect me, but like that's it.
Yeah, yeah,
It feels like the. I'm not surprised. That felt like a thing that was like coming, right? That like
yeah.
as they got their licenses and they all like were getting into this grown up space, they're gonna realize that what they have is very different. And
Mm-hmm.
it seems like a very logical place for the show to go.
They're like, hey, this isn't a life full of fairy tales. This is an actual profession that has like
Yeah, like we're job.
dark
This is our
stuff.
job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, it was just I don't know. Like I was surprised it was Harriet that was the one that said it because in the other chapters she seemed to be more friendly, especially with Ruby. You know, with how
Sure.
she kind of like teased her about the speed semblance and all that. I
Yeah,
expected
but I'm just a little bit faster.
yeah, like and some
That was
people were
fun.
like, oh, I thought she was kind of a bitch when she said that. I was like, oh, okay, I thought that was just being playful, but
I mean, I feel like all four of them are like kind of stuck up assholes, but it felt like playfully shitty.
yeah.
Like she was definitely taking a dig, but like in a lighthearted way. So I felt like it was both like pointed, but not like I want to hurt you, but I still want you to know I'm better than you.
Yeah. Um okay, so sorry, like rewinding this a bit since we're talking about like a lack of emotions or cutting emotions out. Dashy Lee's asking like serious question for you guys. Were you okay with how there was almost a lack of emotion uh when Penny came back? Um with Weiss, Blake and Yang, I was a little shocked. And then Penny like Ruby, I kind of took it as like her just being overloaded with information was trying to process stuff.
Right. Well, I mean, Ruby seemed. Well, maybe I'm remembering with like rose-colored goggles. Ruby seemed excited,
Yeah,
but I don't. I mean, did she really have a relationship with any of the other girls? Like, I felt like Ruby was really the only one that like dealt with her at all
yeah,
when she was around the first time.
yeah, it was definitely like Ruby was the only one she had the relationship with. The rest of the team kind of like sort of avoided Penny for her awkwardness
Yeah,
at the
that's
beginning.
that's kind of what I was remembering too, because
Hmm.
it seemed like the only one of the four of them that would care at all was Ruby, which was who she went for. I mean, it was like salutations and she tackled her.
Just breaks Ruby's back upon meeting her. Like, oops, sorry, I broke your back. Now we have to live together forever so I could take care of you. And that's how you win a girl. Um, that's a terrible joke, but you just went dead silent. I'm like, maybe I should feel
Well, I
bad.
was like also half reading something in the chat too,
Oh, okay.
so don't feel too bad.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. So I don't know. It did feel a bit weird, but I also felt like because of time constraints and the first episode, and then just like how they just were like, all right, we got to move the overall plot forward. That was
Yeah,
maybe
well,
pushed a little bit.
I think that's something that Ruby does. They do it pretty well, but it's also kind
Hmm.
of to their detriment. Is that they do a lot of like you kind of have to fill in a lot of the gaps yourself. Like
Hmm.
you have to assume a lot of things happen, especially when it comes to like character dynamics and relationships in the show.
Hmm.
Like you have to kind of take cues most of the time, I feel like, and just assume that things are playing out a certain way behind the scenes.
Yeah, and read between the lines, kind of.
Right. And I think that part of that is because they don't like it's a
I
lot. I
felt
mean,
like with
they do a lot of
Blake,
work.
a lot
They
of
do a lot
you
of
had to
work
do
in
that.
general,
Hmm.
but like you know, they are like 4 minutes short of a typical TV show length
Yeah.
on most of their because they kind of land in that 17 to 18 minute range most episodes,
Hmm.
and 2022 is like as a standard TV episode. So they are
Oh yeah.
running a few minutes short of that I think that they could use to develop a lot of those relationships on screen more.
Hmm.
But yeah, maybe not. But it seems that that's one of their detriments for sure is
Yeah.
just not taking that time.
Yeah, and I'm sure, like, because it seems like they arrived in Atlas, immediately got arrested, then almost immediately got sent out to do work.
Right.
Hopefully,
Well, when they realized who it was.
yeah, yeah, and hopefully, like, when they have downtime, Penny and Ruby would talk. That's something that I want to see, uh,
Yeah.
and all that, and Inspector Who and Verif, they were kind of right. Like, Inspector Who talked about, like, we need a Ruby and Penny moment, and Ruby showed emotion, and like for the moment it was definitely enough. It was more just Weiss, Blake, and Yang that was like a little more surprised, but
Yeah. No, and I think there's still time for that. I think that at least in universe, I don't think enough time has passed that we won't like logically have a space to come back and have that Ruby and Nora or Ruby and
Ruby
Penny
Penny,
moment.
wrong
Like,
redhead.
yeah, right. Like, 'cause, I mean, realistically, like, they've been in Atlas for a day still
Mm-hmm.
on the fort, maybe two.
Yeah, maybe
It hasn't
two
been
at the
that long.
tops, but
Yeah, it hasn't been that long in universe. So like between everything else that's going on, Penny shows up. You know, Ruby's got a ton on her mind. I think that she's still, like you said earlier, she's still kind of processing a lot of
I
that,
mean,
and that there's
keep in mind
still
they also saw like a big blue genie telling them this huge backstory like 2 weeks ago. You
right,
know, they're like,
dude. And for me, consuming all of that within the middle of this like 2-day binge session of 2.5 seasons worth of content
Mhm.
was like, what is happening? How many episodes was that? If you didn't watch it on the DVD, like that had to be
The
several,
genie
right?
episode.
Yeah.
That was
Was that
one.
all one episode?
That was a whole 20 something minute episode.
It had because it was so long, and I'm
Yeah.
sitting here going, did they break this up into like 2 or 3 pieces?
No, they threw that into like one huge chunk, and everyone's just like,
Amazing.
"What?" Yeah, it was it was a game changer episode for sure. Yeah,
Like, well, we heard you guys like the long ones, so here you go.
yeah, yeah. So anyway, back backtracking to like them still on the ground at the mine. I'm flickering the picture back and forth so the slideshow doesn't change before I wanted it to. Ruby being like, "Yo guys, we wanna like go hang out in Atlas, go exploring, you know."
Which was also very Volume 1 esque of Ruby to do.
Mm-hmm. Well, I also felt like it was kind of a nod towards like, so one of the criticisms for Volume 5, going back to throwing this under the bus, was we had a whole build up within World of Remnant talking about the area they were in, and then they
Yeah.
just stayed to like their apartment complex pretty much.
Right.
And so everyone was like, dude, like we could have saw so much of Haven, you know, like we could have saw that whole area, and they just stayed at the school.
Sure.
So that, I think it was kind of like a nod to that, being like, hey, we noticed that criticism, and we are gonna like call it out and like hopefully get some of that. I mean,
Sure.
we've been getting that with Mantle and Atlas plenty so far.
Yeah, this feels very very lore heavy for the cities. And like where they're at Atlas, and like it very much feels like a lot of the show has been about the relationship between Mantle and Atlas and how that's been playing out, which is really cool. It's nice to have, like, we know there's a lot of bad shit going on in the background, but it's nice to have something else to kind of pay attention to as well, to pull away from the awful everything else that's happening.
Yeah.
Like some kind of side story going on.
Yeah, they're like actually streaming multiple storylines and having them still follow through from episode to episode. And I'm
Yeah.
like, this feels so refreshing and it's good. Like
Yeah.
I like it.
I mean, and it all adds into that me feeling like this is almost a completely new show this season, and I'm so glad they took the extra time to work on it and get everything up, because it's like, I mean, both in animation style and quality, what they're writing in the show, how the stories are like getting intertwined. I mean, everything is stepped up so much this season.
Yeah,
to me at least.
They brought on some other writers, which helped a lot, I think,
and directors too, right? Like they're, because it's
yeah.
it's not just like Carrie and Miles.
Like I think Eddie Rivas helps direct it as well, and he helped with Camp as well. So he's experienced in Rooster Teeth content and familiar with the IPs. And also talking about long episodes, Lee in the chat is like, we're getting a long boy tomorrow and I'm nervous. And yeah, usually when we see a long episode timestamp, out of curiosity, Lee, like, what's the length of the episode? I'm gonna go try seeing it myself.
See if you can find it.
Yeah,
it was a long time. I mean, enough that I was convinced watching it on the Blu-ray that it was like 2 or 3 episodes worth of content.
Yeah. Okay, so she's saying 19 minutes. That'll be the longest episode this volume so far. Dang. Okay. I don't see it on the website, but it's like, all right, we should be having like a little bit more.
Oh, I might have been thinking about a different episode.
Yeah, and Steven's like, wasn't the last episode 18? It was just under 18, but if you like put intro and the credits at the end out, then it's shorter than that. The
yeah. Well, yeah, the intro on its own is 1 minute and 40 seconds this season.
Yeah.
It's somehow gotten even longer.
Hey, it is a good song and it's a good outro. They're like upping the anime. I'm for it, you know.
Yeah. Trust me, I'm here for most of the changes.
Yeah. Yeah.
This one in particular I'm real fucking mad about, but the rest is I've been okay.
You're like, more intro, less RWBY. Come on, guys. It's like, hey, you know, yeah, I like it. Yeah, so Inspector Who's saying basically every episode has 2 minutes of missing time. So 19-minute overall to 17 roughly will be the longest episode tomorrow.
Or so.
And I think Robin was actually the thumbnail. So I wouldn't be surprised if we start off with seeing that the two Faunus that we were talking about at the beginning of this. With her.
Yeah, figure out more what and who they are.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, those bootlickers got some more bootlickers, and they're like, go and take it over the mine and stuff. You know, that Ironwood guy, he's doing stuff we don't approve of.
Oh my god, one of my friends I was talking to while we were watching season 7 made the comment that so Ironwood's finally back, right? And that not only is he back, but he is daddy this season.
Dude, he was daddy when his clothes were all torn off in volume 3. That's when he was called Iron Daddy.
Iron Daddy.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, Dashi, farewell. Good luck with the editing. And also, good luck with tomorrow's recording and all that. And thank you for saying you'll finish this in playback. That's very much appreciated. But yeah, Iron Daddy. This time with beard.
That's a sexy dad right there. All right. I'm an Ironwood stan so far. Although I don't know. He seems like they've done a really good job in making him so good and so like intentional that I can't trust him. Like the way they are writing him has got me like every time I see him, I'm getting more and more uneasy, despite the fact that everything he's doing has been like really good and helpful and like it seems very open and honest. Everything on the table. Here's what it is.
I mean, I would say with all the surveillance and like how it looks like a police state down in Mantle. I mean, if you ignore that stuff, then yeah.
You know? Besides that, but even with that, like it seems, man, I'm
like he has good intentions with it, but it's just like
the
method
and it seems
isn't,
that stuff. So like if we pull those two things apart, so we have like the police state part of him, and then just like how he's handling the RWBY girls as two separate things, right? Even with the police state stuff, it seems like I understand that this makes me look bad and it sucks, but like. These were hard decisions to make, and I feel like this is the best one. Like that seems like very genuine. I'm doing my best to like do what I can for these people.
Yeah, and that's something I can't fault him for, is because like we see the him, unlike the citizens. We're like, oh man, like this guy's really just trying to do his best.
And then like you take that on top of the way he's treating the RWBY girls, or the RWBY girls and everybody else. So like he got them their licenses, which let's be honest, they deserve. They have been through hell and back over the last 7 volumes. Like that makes sense. But giving them their licenses, getting that taken care of, just being like super over the top accommodating and good to them, and like letting them in on secret, and like it's all good stuff. And the more I just keep getting more and more uneasy that something's got to be up his sleeve. Like it's just. Maybe it's just me, it's
no. You're in the majority with this. You're
like something. He's too nice.
He's too nice, and his method's too questionable. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and Dashi, trust me, I've been keeping you in mind. It's like I'm looking at a few weekends in December that I'll talk to you about after stream. But yeah, it's kind of weird that we're seeing like his weird method way, his we can't entirely trust him, but then also like his dad energy, like how he's been awkward. Like he has the awkward dad energy, and Verif is bringing up like the don't bring marrow moment when when they're like, hey, we need more boots on the ground and mantle, but be discreet. And then he was like, oh, but don't bring marrow. And I'm like, I feel like that was like an awkward dad moment in itself of like, he's obviously not picking his favorite child, but he's definitely outing his least favorite child. Or like his like, yeah, that kid, we screwed up raising him just a little bit.
We
like,
screwed that one up. Maybe let's just not.
Yeah, he's like, the kid, he's a good guy, but we just dropped it on his head a little too many times. Yeah. Yeah, people are saying like, yeah, Mara's the rookie. I have this weird theory, and I've seen some people throw this around. Like, some people think there might be a traitor amongst the Aesops, and
that wouldn't surprise me. They're too on top of their shit, right? There has to be a fault somewhere.
Yeah, and Marrow is kind of the one that's been standing out to some.
Is he the only Faunus on the team?
Yeah, he's the only Faunus on the team. Clover is the other one. Like Lee just pointed him out. I was gonna say those two are the top two candidates, mainly because they're both super nice. And then Marrow with his like,
see, Marrow has like kind of an innocence to me with the way that he carried, at least in this episode, especially with how the rest of them were all like digging at him. Like, I don't have any faults. What are my faults? I don't know, your brain. Like,
but also if he's like the rookie, like.
Sure.
He's the new guy, but
as much as like the whole series is like, no, the Faunus are good people. We do have the White Fang to worry about, right? Like that's still that's still an organization not making the greatest decisions in the universe.
Yeah, I think that wing of the White Fang is mostly on its last legs. Like especially after Volume 5, they got dispersed and mostly captured, and then it was Adam kind of lone wolfing it, and I mean.
Yeah, and it could be, but that's still like, you never know, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I definitely think in Mantle there's still like enough of the Faunus tension that there could still be Faunus motivated to do stuff like that.
Yeah, and you just, I don't know, you never know, especially with long form shows like these that actually do have like an overarching narrative headed. You can go 5 seasons without a character or without a group, and suddenly they're just back and they've been there the whole time. We just didn't know about it because that's Penny. Not where the camera was. Right.
Yeah.
Like Penny.
Yeah.
Whoever thought we were going to see Penny again? Not me.
Some of us had our theories, but I think they were more like hopeful. We were like, okay, if there was to be a character to come back, Penny would be the most realistic, and boy, we hope, So.
Well, and when her dad's like, yeah, my daughter's told me all about you. I'm sitting here going, who in the world could this be that's not bad, right? Like,
who's not
so
bad?
Like I was actually like kind of worried about that.
Yeah, Cinder walks in, she's like, Dad, those are my enemies. What are you doing with them?
And then right before she pops on screen, I went, oh my God, he's a cybernetics guy. It's Penny.
Yeah. So me being someone who's like been too much on the wishful thinking, just like Verif is saying, and like we did see like a hint of her creator when she got torn to bits in Volume 3. We saw like the back of his head, so when he got brought back on screen, it was like, oh hey, he looks like Penny's creator, and like you see some of the stuff on the walls.
Oh sure, that must have been a detail I missed.
Yeah, there were like little details in the background, but also Maria being there for like her robot eyes. He's like, oh yeah, my daughter, and we're like, ooh, I said it in my reaction, I'm like, oh, Penny. And someone some of my comments were like, I hate it when the reactors guess the thing or like know what's happening. And it's like, listen, the writing was on the wall for me, like it was obvious,
right?
Yeah.
Also, I want to double in on Lee and say my money would be on Clover. If there's a traitor, I feel like it's got to be Clover.
Oh yeah, he's gonna do like that Frozen moment with Crow. Like Crow's
he's just got he's just got that like I'm the leader of the crew and I'm like the good boy. Everyone trusts me. I'm the go-to guy. Like if it's anyone, it's got to be him, right?
Yeah. Well, I feel like they're gonna pull a Frozen moment with him Crow, and like Crow's gonna be like, oh man, if only someone loves me, and like Clover, you're like my bro, man, like
Oh
maybe a little
wow,
more,
okay.
and then he's gonna be like, oh, if only someone could be a bro with you, Crow, and then like that's when the betrayal moment is. Um, sorry, Frozen 2 came out. I had to somehow make a tie, but
Right.
um, yeah,
Oh my god! For some reason, when you said that, I just thought of the moment when everybody, I think in six, maybe
yeah.
early six or five. I don't. My timeline's all off. But just when they're catching all of like the rest of the team up to Ozpin and what's been going on and what he quote unquote did to Crow and Raven, and then
Yeah.
he walks out of the room and it's quiet and Nora just goes, Crow, Raven, they're birds.
we love a good girl, okay?
This is like the Nora fan cast and the everything else shade cast.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, we're just secretly plugging Nora. We're like Nora.
Nora.
Yeah.
More Nora. Always more Nora.
Yeah. Man, where were we? I mean, like we were doing pretty good on being on tangents about RWBY, but like where were we in the episode discussion? Oh yeah, they were on like exploring Atlas. Wanting to explore Atlas, and they were just all turning down RWBY, and RWBY just being like, oh man, this.
So this guy.
Yeah, Forrest. I was just about to send you the thingy thing.
Oh, he has a name? Okay.
Yeah, his name's Forrest.
I must have missed that. Oh, good. Hey, thank you. That makes my life so much easier.
Yeah. I was like, I'll show you so you have something visual to see.
Well, I keep like watching the stream to see like watching it turn on and off.
Yeah, because I'm like flicking it back and forth. I'm like, stay. Yeah. So Forrest, oddly enough, you probably didn't know because you were not watching Volume 7, but one of the guys from Mega 64, the guy that's helping with the RT podcast now, what's his name?
Oh, Eric?
Yeah, so
not Eric.
It's not Eric. I need to figure out who it is. I'm going on to Twitter. I'm looking up RWBY because that's the thing he started. RWBY. He took it off his thing. Someone in the chat, please help me. I have the memory of a goldfish.
There was so much evidence that even when people would be
mad,
it
was Eric. Okay, yeah. It was Eric. I don't know why my mind just like. So Eric.
Sorry, I just knocked the shit out of my camera.
Yeah. So Oops. Eric voiced Forrest, but he also made like this very strange promo, where he's like, this was after the second episode of RWBY. He was like, yes. We're going to start a new RWBY spinoff with more characters and blah, blah, blah. It's going to start a new team called RWBY and their leader, Forrest. and then the very next episode, Forrest gets killed off by Tyrion. And he's live tweeting on Twitter. And he's like, what? He's like, hey, my boy Forrest. Wait, no, stop. No. He's just...
I love Eric. He's a good boy.
Yeah. So, rip RWBY, but yeah, his death was kind of sad, for maybe.
It was definitely that's not what I would have expected. I really kind of thought he was going to be totally a throwaway character when they met him in the police vehicle.
Yeah.
So to see him come back and die, it's like, oh, okay, there was something more there, and
yeah, he was a throwaway character with some plot relevance.
Right, like they actually made use of him.
Yeah. They're like, oh man, they killed off this guy and someone's trying to frame Ironwood, which again adds to like the layers of stuff that they're doing with the election sideline.
There's so much more. Yeah, that's like we've been saying the whole time. There's so much more going on this season, like as far as like the number of threads happening. I feel like versus everything just being straight like, it's the bad guys and we have to go stop them before they get the thing that they're going for.
Yeah. honestly, like, I kind of want to make a video where I'm just making a conspiracy board about all the side plots with RWBY right now. Just be like, there's the election, and that ties to Ironwood, and Ironwood ties to this, and there's this, and I'll just be like full out. It's Always Sunny meme.
I was about to say, is that the Always Sunny?
Yeah.
I couldn't remember what if that was right or not, but yeah,
it was Always Sunny. He's like,
I would tune in for that stream. I would be here.
From. Yeah, he's like, the mail, it's here, but there's these people, they don't exist. They're never at the place where I take them. And then like, no, they exist and they got fired. But yeah, I'm seeing someone Photoshop David onto Charlie Day's body.
I like it.
Please, somebody. I'll do it.
I will purchase and ship you a giant corkboard so that you can. Yeah.
Yeah. Lee says she's got it. Bless you, Lee. She's the meme queen right now.
The meme queen. I like it. Yeah. I didn't realize I was in the presence of meme royalty right now.
Yeah, she kind of had to wait
I didn't prepare
the prior throne holder to die to take it.
I don't understand. Am I supposed to bow? Do I take off my shoes? I don't know what to do now.
Don't take off your shoes. People take screenshots, and I don't want that. We don't need that of you.
But then I could end up on WikiFeet. You don't want to be on? Isn't it your dream to be on WikiFeet?
Oh.
With that 5-star rating, I need it.
Yeah. Like, oh,
a dab is necessary. I can't do it.
Okay, a dab is necessary. All right, there. You got a dab, but this is the second time I've had you almost spit out water today.
Yeah, let's. I like my keyboard. I don't want to ruin it. Can we keep the funny to a minimum? God, serious business.
Hi guys, it's only serious business. We're gonna keep talking about how Forrest died, and like it's very serious that Ironwood is being framed, and you know that could be very bad for him because we're supposed to like him. And
do we just do the whole thing monotone now?
The people we don't like may benefit from bad things happening to him.
Show over, wrapped it up. There it is.
Yeah.
Cut Brent, kill the pig. We got it. Nice job, everyone. Kill the lights.
Kill the lights. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna before I put it on screen again, I'm gonna like send you the picture. Now we're on to Jacque. Man, I got a lot of screenshots for this episode to share.
Oops.
Here's Jacque Schnee. We don't like him. He's mean. Let's just throw him under the bus. Like,
yes, unlike do we need 5, more than that?
Really
dude's a dick.
Yeah, gosh. I mean, like, he made a grand entrance. I'll give him that. Like, 10 out of 10, good entrance for his character. But it's just he's a lot to take in.
I did like Ironwood just owning him in front of everybody.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, when the council hears about this, bro, the council knows. What are you talking about?
It's like, bro, the council knows, and their word doesn't matter in this situation.
Yeah. Like, even if they didn't know, fucks it matter. It doesn't, because I'm awesome. Get out. Like, what are you doing?
He's like, it's a classified military operation. They can't vote on it. It's my
so
word.
Do we know? So he keeps talking about like him losing the election. Do we know anything else about like who he's up against or what? Like what's really at stake?
We only have like vague details. We know Atlas has the chair board, and that's kind of like how they don't have like a singular leader. They just have like people who win seats.
Sure.
So it's almost like the
which
British
is
Parliament,
mostly standard for like a lot of city types, but usually there is like someone who sits at the head of it. But
yeah,
that type of thing usually exists.
Well, because Ironwood has 2 seats because he won so many votes, or was like, because he's also the headmaster of the school, he had a secondary seat. So he was the guy with the most power, and that's and now everyone's just gunning for him to like even the ground with him or get the upper hand.
Right, when especially between that and with him with the embargo like killing his wallet.
Yeah.
He's got to be one stressed piece of shit.
Yeah, he's like, it's like I can't get as rich as fast as anymore. Like he's just really angry and doesn't care about international situations. Yeah. So we know that like Ironwood is running. We know that Jacque is running, and we've assumed so far. Wait, no. We don't have to assume because it's been confirmed. Robin is running as well.
Sure.
So those are the 3 candidates that we know of. And
just catching up on chat here.
yeah, the chat
yeah,
just
that
suddenly
was.
started messaging.
Yeah, actually, I think Steven has a really good point. That definitely shows like we knew that this dude was like an abusive dick, but this shows him in like a whole different light of like just how like emotionally abusive that he is to Weiss. When he brings up like, oh, your mother was just, you know, she was wrecked or whatever it was that he said, like trying to make her feel guilty for someone who's not even a part of the conversation.
Yeah,
is a whole different like low to stoop to. I felt like.
Well, like it. One thing I really noticed was like when he was threatening her, like, "Oh, you brat!" Like, just wait till and it looked like he was about to like start winding up for another slap because we know
right.
he's been physically
we know he
abusive.
does that.
Yeah, and then Ironwood is like, "Oh, you're gonna do what, Jacque? Like, hate to have you do that with so many witnesses around and running an election."
Fucking Ironwood pulling up his daddy, like.
yeah. But then he switches from like a physically abusive tactic to like an emotionally manipulative and abusive tactic, which I'm just like, man, this guy, he like abuse is just his middle name, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's always had all the signs too. It's not like he's ever been painted in a good light to the viewer, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's been nothing but a piece of shit to Weiss every time that they've been on screen together.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, man, this guy, he sucks. And oh yeah, there's this screenshot of Ironwood being like, "Oh, you're so sure about being so stuck up, Jacque?" And then it's gonna switch. It's gonna switch to the one. It'll eventually get to what Steven was pointing out about Blake catching it. I made sure to get a picture of Blake and them reacting to Jacque being him. But yeah, and a lot of people were talking. It's not really clear on like what the election is or how it runs or how they do their council. So it's just I hope
I'm sure we'll get. I'm sure we'll get some more of that. I hope that we don't get that on like a Star Wars level, but I'm sure that they'll get into that a little bit more at least give us a basic understanding of what's at stake here.
Yeah. Then Inspector Who's saying, "I am curious. Was Jacque lying about the mom? I mean, using her
probably
dick move, but I wouldn't be surprised. See, there's Blake's reaction to the whole thing. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he was like, "Are you kidding me, slideshow? Are you?" So I don't know if
supposed
you
to go
saw
back
that.
to the beginning yet.
The slideshow just we hit like the halfway point of the files that I selected.
Restarted.
And it went back to the very first one. I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" Like, the very next one was the hand holding. Cool. Hey everyone, welcome to VYTALCast, where I'm gonna make another slideshow layer, and I'm gonna add another slideshow, and I'm gonna put the hand holding pic to the end on, since OBS hates me. But yeah. Anyway, back to what we were saying. For my technical difficulties.
Oh, technology.
Yeah. Alright. There we go. Boom. I said boom. Where are you? There it is. Oh, I need to resize the heck out of that. Oof. Okay. There we go. We got good supportive friends on screen. We stand.
We stand.
Yeah, a good team. Here, let me shrink that down some more so it's
not... No, I like this one. You can't see my ugly mug.
Too late.
No.
Yeah. I really liked how it was like a good moment for the team, you know.
Well, it definitely helps show that the contrast between like the Ace Ops team and what RWBY's got, because they are just, oh, this is our job and we protect each other and we've been doing it for a long time, so like whatever. And no, I genuinely care about these 3 people who are with me in everyday life. It's a very different dynamic.
Yeah, I agree with that. Sorry, I'm just replaying some of the...
No, you're fine. You got your technical difficulties work out.
Boom. Slowing it down a bit. So yeah, I really loved how like Weiss describes them as family. Like we when we first met Weiss, she was very much like blood family oriented, with
I
like the
mean,
whole heiress.
we called her Ice Queen for a reason, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
and now she's like all found family, just in time
right.
for Thanksgiving. She's like, I don't have to spend Thanksgiving with these jerks. I got these other people that I met and
Yeah.
have a forged bond with. So I
Well, and
appreciate.
I think it just goes to show it's part of that whole my whole train of thought is gone.
I
What
like
just
watching
happened to
that
me?
just happen on your face, like you're like, oh yeah, da da da, and then I just see like .exe
It
stopped
just
working.
yeah.
I'm like, yeah,
Kenway.exe has stopped working and it needs
yeah,
to close.
yeah,
Um,
gosh,
yeah, I don't remember where I was going with that at all. Something about Weiss and coming out of an abusive relationship and learning. Oh yeah, she she gets out to the school and learns starts to learn what real love is, right? Like as like corny as it sounds, she has these real life relationships, and then it's like, oh, I guess where I came from actually kind of sucks, doesn't it? Yeah, because sometimes you just don't know if that's how it is your whole life. That's just what you know. It's what you assume everything else is going to be like when you get out there too.
yeah, yeah, I totally agree. Um, so someone was saying like when Winter shows up, she's got that psst, is he gone look, and yeah, I definitely had that impression, and she kind of hints that. Oh, I mean, she was in the middle of saying that. She was purposely avoiding Jacque until a certain good girl pops on screen. Penny with her grand entrance.
Right.
Yeah, I was like, man, Penny, good job on the entrances. Like
that sweet superhero landing.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like here, I was gonna send you the thing so you could still have your visual guide.
Yes, please.
Man, I guess next week I might have to officially switch over to like uh OBS Studio that actually has the hotkey for switching the slides
I mean,
manually.
look, I don't want to be that guy, but I
Mm-hmm.
will say that recently, for about the fourth time, I have given XSplit a new try,
Mm-hmm.
and they have fixed almost all of my issues with that software,
Okay.
and it is real stable. So you
Okay.
might also consider looking in that direction, because I have been a relatively happy boy for the last couple of weeks since
Okay.
I switched back over.
I do know that's what Rooster Teeth used for the extra live stream this year.
That was what made me think to actually go look at it. I was like, well, if they're
Yeah.
pulling this off, like a lot of the issues that I had were because my old YouTube channel, that
Mm-hmm.
feels weird to say, my old YouTube channel, we were really pushing the boundaries of what OBS could do as it was, and just like when we tried to use XSplit, a lot of it was more stable and it looked better,
Mm-hmm.
but they were just missing so many options. And so when I saw that Rooster Teeth ran Extra Life on XSplit, I went, well, if they can do all this in XSplit now, I bet they've fixed a lot of the stuff that was missing before. And lo and behold, they have. So,
Well, that's good to know. I'll keep that in mind because Streamlabs OBS, you've been breaking me this year, or this last month, I guess. But yeah, Inspector who's like, is XSplit free?
they have a free model now. I don't know what all it includes. I went ahead and upped because it's like $25 for 3 months or something, which is, I mean, I have a full-time job. It's not
Yeah.
like that big of a deal for me. I don't want. I'd much rather use a free software, obviously, but
Yeah.
if me paying for it means it keeps getting developed, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
But I think they have a free. I think they have a free version now. They didn't used to, and I don't know what all is included with it. I know that the big thing for me was that you can't in XSplit you can do per scene audio.
Mm-hmm.
So rather than having just like an audio source set up, you can actually set the audio sources per scenes. So when you go to be right back, it automatically mutes your microphone if you wanted to do that.
OBS has that now too.
Do they?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's new.
Yeah. Yeah. They've been adding some stuff to it.
But that's one of the things I know that isn't in XSplit free, that you have to pay for it to get.
Okay.
But I don't know what else is the difference between the paid version and the free version.
I imagine there might be like a watermark on screen for the free.
Probably. That wouldn't surprise me.
Blackmagic software did. But yeah. Anyway, off of the technical stuff.
Off of the techie jargon. Sorry.
Yeah. No. It's all right. back to Penny and her grand entrance. I got this beautiful screenshot where you just see Weiss flying off with her.
Yeah, flying off into the side.
like I honestly tried to like get that perfectly framed where it had the whole team, but it was very hard for me to just be like, yeah, we got that. And man, for a second I thought I had paused the slideshow, but OBS just keeps faking me out.
Small techie detour again. For your slideshow, is that just pulling pictures out of a folder?
It was supposed to, but I had to select all the files inside the folder and add them like that. So I like mass selected them.
What if you pulled all the pictures out of the photo or out of the folder except for the one that you want on screen, and then just dropped them in one at a time?
That's work.
Okay.
Yeah,
just a suggestion.
Yeah, no, I know. I thought of that, and like, I honestly thought the slideshow thing was gonna work. The problem is I can't just. I mean, I'm gonna test it right now, so forgive me, people. Can I actually? Oh my gosh, I can. You're right.
Oh.
It just appears super giant. I could just drag stuff straight onto the viewer, apparently, from the folder.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Okay. New method, so we can keep stuff on screen. Gonna delete those slideshow layers. Gosh. Forget you, slideshows. You're dead to me.
That's got to be like the third time since we've started this conversation where one of us has had like a light bulb moment. Oh.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's just what you do for me since that panel at RTX. I was just like, man,
dude,
this guy.
I'm here for you. All right. I'm not good at almost anything except for like weird techie broadcast and audio stuff. That's all I've got.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Penny and her grand entrance, like another great comedy example from Volume 7 that they've been giving us.
It's nice to get back to having some lighthearted content on screen.
Yeah.
5 and 6 are real. There's heavy. A lot. They're real heavy, yeah.
Yeah. They're real heavy, and like a lot of people, myself included, are like, man, they're making us really happy now, which means we're probably going to be really miserable later.
I hadn't thought of that yet, and you just ruined it for me. No.
Yeah. So speaking of things that make everyone miserable, is Amity Arena, the room where it all happened. The big Amity Arena. I'll send it to you on Discord.
Well, I've got it on the stream now. If you can keep it up, then we're good. We're good. All right,
cool. Amity Arena. The place where we saw Penny sliced and diced, and Yang gets arrested. A whole bunch of bad stuff. I mean, Pyrrha kind of commits murder.
Kind of.
Okay, but Penny's alive.
It was like a little bit of murder. It wasn't like it was a tiny bit, like a pinch of murder.
Yeah, because she's not human, so you can't like really classify as murder. But someone did technically die, except for they're still alive, so they And so like for like 3 volumes or whatever, it was like a pinch of murder. Yeah.
And then now it's not. It's fine. She's alive. Everything's great.
Fine. Yeah.
2 shots of murder. That's good.
Yeah. Gosh. Yeah, oh my gosh. Verif was saying, like, that reminds me, now that Penny isn't dead anymore, we can redeem Emerald now. So
I'm wondering if she isn't gonna swing to the good side at some point.
Yeah.
Cause she's got this like, I was only here for Cinder.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and like, as far, I mean, she doesn't. Does she know that Cinder's alive yet? Has she figured that out?
No, I think Cinder's been trying to like keep it secret from even Salem.
Well, because Salem knows for sure.
I mean,
she said,
guess or assume, right?
She says it on screen at one point, doesn't she? Like she's
in Volume 6.
Maybe somewhere, someone with power in that organization.
Verif definitely. Me. Salem told them. Yeah, I guess with the Grim arm, she probably has some sort of connection.
Yeah, something. Okay, I guess if I didn't remember Salem telling them that Sarah was still alive, so I couldn't remember
Okay.
if she knew.
I gotta admit, most of the scenes with Salem and Emerald and Mercury are not completely lodged into my memory. Like
That's fair.
I could visualize them, but I can't remember word for word what was said and all that. I do
Right.
remember Tyrion get hit in the face with a
Oh,
table,
fucking Tyrion.
and like I
Oh god,
laughed
I hate
so
that
hard
guy.
because I hate him. Yeah, like he's very well done, and that's why I hate him.
Yeah, he's like the quintessential like wrestling heel. Like he's done so well to make you hate him. Like every time you see him, you're just like, man, fuck this guy. Like I can't stand him, and that's how you should feel. They do a really good
Yeah,
job of making
it's
you
just
hate this
how can he
character.
stay so creepy just all the time? You know, like yeah, I got you.
Well, he's got that creepy psychopath thing going on. Like you don't know what he's gonna do because he's definitely not all there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Except for Salem somehow has him on a leash. So, um,
Right.
yeah. Anyway, back to Amity Arena. I was surprised that they like brought them on there, but it was for like a big monumental moment of like, hey,
Right.
we're gonna like
Well, I'm
award
sure
them.
Ironwood wasn't like, well, there was a tiny bit of murder. There was a dash of murder committed here, and also one of these girls was arrested. He was just like, "Where else do we go but the arena? This is where we give people their licenses. This makes sense."
Yeah, yeah. Like I think he was just like, hey, this is the one place we all have in common. This is what we're
Right.
gonna use this place for in like the long run now, like to bring people back together. So yeah, I could see the reasoning of why he did, but it was just great.
I can just see the scene in motion right now,
Yeah.
like Penny bouncing up and down.
Yeah. I just had to screenshot that because it was just
It was too cute. Like it's on screen. She's doing it for like a second and a half, maybe,
mhm.
and it's still enough to just fill you up with joy.
Oh,
Like I
I
love this.
I noticed before they switched to this shot that she's doing it in the background. And
Yeah.
yeah, and he was just like, it's so cute. Um and yeah, also like Steven, how can you just go after me like that? Say Penny gets hacked by Watts and turns on everyone. How dare?
I
Like
don't. How can we not talk about this, please? I don't. I don't
Penny's
want to
eyes
think
turn
about it.
red. Yeah. It'll be like the moment where like Ruby is like, Penny, I love you, and then Penny's eyes just turn red. She's like, oh Ruby, if only someone loved you, and then stab, and then
No.
betrayal.
No.
Back to the Frozen references.
Where's the where's the Darth Vader gif when you need it?
Oh,
No.
yeah. Gosh, yeah. I adore Penny so much, and I loved how she was like pretty much Ironwood's assistant, just being like, "Hey, I'm just
Right.
gonna like you get a license, you get a license, everyone gets a license." And I like how like even though it's not needed, she'll walk in front of each person and then hit activate for their thing, and it's like, yeah,
Right.
you could have
definitely
stayed
just
right next to
walk-
Winter and done that, right?
Yeah.
You could have done like select all activate and have them all go at the same time, like, oh hey,
Right.
yeah. What's weird is like in chapter 3, so the episode before this, when they're in the cave and it was showing them like doing the montage of them like getting ready and all that, I swear it showed them on the thing and it said like status active, and I guess that might have been like, oh, they're active on the mission, but I took that as like license or hunters um like status is active, you know.
Oh, sure.
So I was like, oh,
Interesting.
they're activating them. I thought they were active because of the one little small thing we saw in the previous episode. But, you know, whoops. That moment when you're a little too observant and read a little too into it. So,
See, we're very polar opposite there because I take a lot of things at face value when I'm watching TV, especially anime or anything like even remotely close to it. I just kind of like watch the story, and then when I do venture into fan theories, I'm always like, I didn't think of that way. Where did you get that? How did you see that? Where is all of this info coming from? Did we watch the same show? Like,
You see, when you run a podcast and a YouTube channel where you have to talk about
Right.
this specifically, it eventually just like gets ingrained into your head.
Yeah, well, and like especially since I didn't have like I think I probably would have been more in that mindset, but I had what
2 days.
42 episodes of Ruby to catch up on to be here, not just like, oh, this is the one that we watched this week. I'll watch it 4 times and make sure I'm solid on it.
You're me with how I watch most other anime or Netflix shows. I'll binge everything and everything's just a blur, and I'm like, I don't even know the characters' names. So,
Right. We've had a couple during the stream that you say a name and I go, who is that? And I'm over here Googling it. So it's like, and when I see the face, I go, oh, that guy. Yeah, we're good. I know who that is.
Oh, that guy. Yes, like Forrest. I know, probably.
Too funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've always typically been like for RWBY and a lot of the RT content. Like I'll just wait for the whole season to come out and then I watch it all at the end. And what got me behind was that I think part of this is I'm from the original sponsorship days where like you paid $20 and you were a super sponsor and you got the DVD in the mail at the end of the season. That was me,
those
right?
days. Oh yeah, dang, that was right before my era. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been around for a minute. I'm an old dude now at this point. I'm an old man in the RT community.
Yeah.
So that's just like that's how I consume RT content. And so when they took 5 ever to put out the RWBY Volume 5 Blu-ray, I just got behind because like typically the last episode came out and then the DVD or the Blu-ray was available in the store and you could buy it right away. It'd be to your house within a week and then I could watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
And they finished RWBY Volume 5 in like it was like February of the year it came out, I think, or something like that.
I think it was January actually.
Yeah, and then 7 months later, still no at RTX that year, still no Blu-ray, and it hadn't even been announced yet.
Dude,
and I was like,
I feel that, but with the soundtrack a lot. Like my first RTX, I'm like, I'm gonna buy the Volume 3 soundtrack. It's out on iTunes, but I'll hold out to get the physical CD, and hopefully I'll meet Jeff Williams and get it signed. I go there and I'm like walking through the RT store. I'm like, where's the CD? Where's the CD? And they're like, oh yeah, the CD's not out yet. And I'm like, screw it. And I go back to my hotel and I just buy it on iTunes. I'm like, I'm not waiting.
Like I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm done with it.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened there, like what changed, but that was what screwed me up. And so I did finally, because I bought Volume 6 at RTX this last year. So I had them both and I just had to make the time to actually sit down and watch them.
If someone who watches this loves me, know that I am a fake fan, and I do not own Volume 6 on Blu-ray.
Oh, and that's fine. You have the first
that for me. I got it. I'm like low key questioning if I even have Volume 5. I want to say I have Volume 5. Like I am looking back. Okay, I got Volume 5. Wait. This is Volume 4. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh no.
I think I only have Volumes 1 through 4. If someone wants to, I really don't have Volume 5?
Well, what's worse, unless they fixed it, you can't currently buy Volume 5 on the RT store. It's just gone. And it's not even like sold out. It's just not there.
We threw it under the bus so hard, they're ashamed to even sell it. Gosh, I feel bad. We bullied Volume 5 out of existence.
I don't remember it being that bad.
No, it's a good volume. Like, I like Volume 5. I like Volume 5. It's just if you ask me to list them, it's not at the top. Let's see.
I would honestly, so like the way that I experienced them.
Wait.
And maybe this will make everybody hate me.
Yeah.
But like I would put that in my top 3 for sure.
What the
100%.
Heck? Dude, my mind is I'm just going to pull this up on OBS cuz I'm just like I cannot believe this. Select window. Where's Chrome?
Oh yeah, look at this. You can get Volume 6 and you can get Volume 4 and 2 in Japanese.
Yeah,
and that's it.
Honestly, I was mad tempted to do with Volume 2 because 1, it's affordable. 2, Volume 2 is my favorite. I'm just, gosh, where's Volume 5? Wait. Am I in the?
Actually, yeah. Now none of them are here except for 6.
Tab? I feel like this is the clearance tab. I'm somehow still in. I gotta be still in the clearance tab.
Like, did Big Brother Warner Brothers just like come in and go, "Hey, you can't make physical media anymore"? Like that seems backwards.
Oh man, dude, I know like they treated like the Genlock Blu-ray release very weird. Like you can't find the Rooster Teeth logo anywhere on the physical packaging. You know, like with this, like just somewhere on the back. I don't know. They took away any references to Rooster Teeth on the,
That's interesting.
on the thing, and it's just like, what the heck? So where?
See, I'm officially glad that I got all of the Blu-rays when I did, because can't get them now.
What the heck? Yeah. Also, can we just appreciate Lindsay being a queen, dressing as Ruby with the
Oh, those, yeah, that's good shit.
Yeah, but they don't have volume 1. They don't even have volume 3, which volume 3 is like one of the most popular volumes. So
Fun fact, if you go to the Red versus Blue section, there's not even a media section. So there's nothing for Red versus Blue.
Honestly, like, they've been doing Red versus Blue so dirty for the last year. I'm not too surprised. Gosh. You're right. I
Not
don't
even
recognize these people anymore. What the heck? No. This is heartbreaking. Okay, I'm taking that off screen because that's heartbreaking for me. I'm like,
Yep.
Wait, Lee said I'll literally ship mine to you because my Blu-ray player broke.
No!
Lee. No, that is...
I'm so sad for you.
Yeah, that Blu-ray players is so expensive. I mean, if you really want to, but I'm not gonna force you because, like, that's yours.
I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I'll take it.
I could watch this on YouTube anytime or the Rooster Teeth site, and that's how I primarily still watch the series. I just like having the physical copy, knowing I supported the show, but
right,
or to watch the bonus features. I honestly buy it mostly to see the bonus features. I don't watch the actual show on the Blu-rays, but
I do like this. I'm honestly waiting for the entire series DVD to buy. That's what I did with Red vs. Blue. When they released the 10-year collection, boom, bought it, and then the show kept going.
yeah. Lee's like, I'll sign it and everything, dude.
Also,
Lee, if you did that, I would, no joke, do like a whole video segment where I'm like, oh my gosh, famous RWBY tuber Lee signed this copy of RWBY Volume 6 for me. She's known for RWBY reactions, not actually the show, but I love this. People do that with Arnold.
Also,
you know Murderer Birds, Arnold?
I do not.
Okay, he was the guy that I mentioned to you pre-stream that, like, he gave me a shout out.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So when I first met him, I saw people going up to him with their RWBY Volume 3 Blu-rays and their posters and getting those signed by Arnold, which I know for him was surreal. Yeah, it was cool. And it was cool for me because that was my first RTX, well, his first RTX as well. But he recognized me and, like, approached me. So it's kind of weird to have, like, the guy who everyone's, like, wanting the attention of and asking for autographs to approach me.
Sure.
Yeah, and then this year I gave out my first autographs at RTX, which was wild. I'm used to selfies, but then people were like, "Oh yeah, here's our RTX badge. Can you sign it?" I'm like,
sure.
And I signed
why
a napkin for someone too. And at the airport to head out back to where I live, I was with my friend John, King of Lame. I think Steven, were you with us at the airport? I feel like you were there at some point, but we were all like huddled around me at a table trying to figure out like Portal 64 signatures for next year. But yeah, it was.
That's good.
Crazy. Anyway, sorry, weird fandom tangent, but
I'm telling you, tangent master.
Yeah,
I will steer us in all the wrong direction. I mean, that was like my entire podcast. The whole 2+ years that we did it was you might as well call it the tangent cast.
The tangent cast.
we would start in one place and end up on the other side of the world. Like, it never made any sense.
If you ever start a spin-off podcast of that podcast, you could call it the tangent cast.
Could.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it would make sense because we couldn't stay on topic for the life of us. If the off-topic podcast didn't already exist, my friend, that is what we would have been called.
Yeah. All right. So I'm trying to figure out which picture to skip ahead for the conversation now that I have the choice of skipping ahead in these now.
Hey, can we get New Boy John off the screen? Because it's just upsetting me.
Welcome to VYTALCast, where Ken Wade gets triggered by John.
Shade. I'm throwing the shade. It's all I have.
Yeah.
Don't take it from me.
Here, we'll take it to whoa, gosh, that's huge. Everyone, here's just only Nora enlarged.
Oh, good, Nora. I was like convinced you were about to just give me Jean, like nothing
Just
else. But
I mean, he's in the background blurred, but
what's great is from because I have my screen set up to essentially just to watch the chat. So I have like the bottom half of the screen where you can see the picture that you pull up and then the chat. And so all I saw was Nora's mouth.
yeah. It's like it'd be very weird if you like identified her only through her mouth. If you said that, then I'd be very, very concerned. I'd be like, why?
Oh, here's my next bit of shade. It's not nearly as heinous. Nora is, I adore her and I still do, but I do not love her outfit this season. I very much miss like the heart thing and the big pink jacket.
Yeah,
was my shit.
I miss that look too. It was I mean, like with Jean, this looks growing on me. But did I just get like a stream notification and Nora was covering it? For a second, I thought I heard yeah, you like that, wouldn't you? And I'm like, who just subscribed? But yeah, it's interesting. Like I love Nora. You know, like at least we have her personality coming more on the forefront again.
And to be completely clear, I don't think she looks bad. I just don't love the new outfit.
Okay.
I liked your old look better. But I think this shot is actually a great kind of harken back to what we were talking about at the very beginning. How I was saying that like this season feels way more anime, like even down to the art style. This is a great shot because it's a close up of her, where like they are using like a lot. I don't know. Even the art style feels a lot more anime to me. Where like she looks like the same character, but like there's a lot more like of like the thick black line work around the outside of all the characters, and everything feels a lot more flat than it used to, in like a good way. I like it a lot. Like, I love how this season looks, but it feels very much.
I want to say like in shots like this one, it feels like there's more depth because they've been working with camera blurs a lot more.
Well, so yes, you're 100% right, but like it feels I don't know. Before it felt like they were really kind of pushing like the pseudo 3D thing, and this feels very much more like anime characters that just happen to have like a lot like camera tricks to them, I guess. Yeah. The whole thing, I don't know. Stylistically, it just looks way more like what I'm used to when I sit down to watch something like this.
Yeah. So hold on. Like from looking at this shot for a little too long, and you talking about like more anime and stuff, I am now like having this weird like resemblance from Nora to like another anime character from this shot. I don't know if you've seen Fooly Cooly, but like she totally reminds me of the girl from Fooly Cooly, and I'm gonna put them right next to each other, like just with how the hair is and stuff. I don't know, like
okay, I could see that a little bit.
Lady's name, I don't know, but like for whatever reason, I'm just like, why am I suddenly just remembering the random Fooly Cooly girl?
But even now, if you take like, so look at these screenshots that we've got, like side by side, and then if you were to take like a screenshot of Nora, even from like, from volume 6, but especially like volume 3, like this, like style wise, like volume 3 Nora versus that girl would look almost completely different. Whereas volume 7 Nora and that one are like, these are very much the same style of show.
Yeah.
Like, creative direction, guys. I guess is kind of what I'm getting at, where it just feels a lot more traditional anime this season than it ever has before to me.
Yeah, it's a good glow up. I love it so much, but I'm also loving like their camera work.
Yes,
because this shot, the bokeh, you could see like
I think it's a really like interesting, like unique perspective on this style of show. Yeah, for sure.
And
I'm with you.
That with the previous episode too, when they're like talking to RWBY, they're like, "Hey RWBY, are you sure it was right to keep information from Ironwood?" Right. And like it shows her looking at the ace ops ahead, and they're in focus, but she's blurred out. And then when she looks back to the team, it blurs out the ace ops and focuses on her. And I'm like, oh my gosh,
it's good. It's good shit, right?
Yeah. Especially when I'm like a video production nerd, I'm just like, oh.
When I can't help but wonder if like because they are like first and foremost and always have been a video, well not always have been, but like they're most of their content now is live action video versus like they came from Red versus Blue, which is a whole different kind of thing. But like with any more, they really are like a video production company, and so I wonder if that isn't kind of influencing how this gets done to some aspect.
Yeah, I could see
In a
that.
good way, like in a very positive way.
Oh yeah. No, there's definitely like no way this could be like taken as some sort of insult. You know, it's like all good things.
Well, and just going back to the how we had the two screenshots on before, like it almost feels like that RWBY screenshot is like just a very modern and grown up version of what was on the right side.
Yeah, and
like it just seems like a more advanced thing going on.
Also, like to go back to like more anime trope moments, and holy cow, that's huge. The selfie in the selfie meme that's been going around with Blake and Yang, you know.
Yes.
Gosh, they are feeding the fandom with like good.
Oh, we have this
memes.
I mean that, and then like since the end of 6, it has been nothing but like Bumblebee fan service, and I'm here for it. I am here for it.
Yeah, because honestly, like the frustrating thing about like liking Bumblebee was like the people who are like, oh, there's not enough stuff to say it's canon, mainly because they don't want Bumblebee, and they're like, oh, they'll find like any excuse, and a lot of
just
like,
just to fight it.
Yeah, and now this volume's like, shut up, it's a thing. Like, yeah. They're like, oh, they killed Blake's abusive ex-boyfriend on screen together. Oh,
together?
Yeah, together. Like, that means nothing. And they're like, okay, fine, here they are, like, taking selfies and totally flirting with each other.
Right.
So.
Well, I think it's honestly going even beyond that. I feel like it's a really I don't know how to phrase this, so bear with me. But I feel like it's a really cool thing, like I guess sexuality wise, to be like she was with Adam, and that was like an abusive thing, right?
Yeah.
But then like they had this moment where, you know, like Ilya had the whole like, well, I wanted you to look at me that way, right?
Yeah.
And so there was like that dynamic, and then they, rather than be like, oh well, Blake wasn't interested in you because like you're not the right gender, they're swinging back to like this Blake and Yang thing might actually be a real thing that's gonna like progress and grow up on screen, versus like just shutting that down because of what it was. Like I think that's like a really interesting and like healthy thing.
Yeah, I was gonna compare it to like a time in high school where my best friend crushed on me. I didn't notice because I was too busy crushing on her friend, and then
by the time a tale as old as time.
Yeah, and then by the time I realized and then had a crush on my best friend, she had already been like, forget you were crushing on my friend too long. So yeah. You know, so like I felt like it was like that, but like, hey, the bisexual version, you know. So
right,
it's like, hey, it's not because you're a girl, it's just because I was interested in someone else, whether it was a healthy situation or not. Yeah.
I do like this. In anime, a blush is basically canon confirmation.
Exactly.
Thanks, Vera. I like that.
There was someone on Twitter. I think it was like
Kira, Sean, and Weiss. You just blew my goddamn mind. Holy shit!
Yeah, how like Weiss was totally gunning for Pyrrha, and then Pyrrha guns for Jean, and Jean's gunning for for Weiss, and then yeah.
Thank you for that. You just blew my entire mind.
Yeah. Well, don't forget to throw Neptune somewhere in that mix too.
Oh yeah, Neptune was in there too, for sure. Oh man, yeah, I had almost forgotten about that whole thing.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm loving the B content. I
the B content,
especially when like I've been taking the piss out on like the haters this year.
I've seen a couple of your tweets about that, and I've been like, honestly,
I went even more petty than a tweet.
I feel so bad. I feel so bad specifically with you, because like every time that you show up on my timeline, I have to like fast scroll past because I've been behind.
Oh,
and so I've been in this weird spot where like I feel like what you're posting is good and I want to read it, but at the same time I'm 2 seasons behind and I don't want spoilers. So every time it's like, I'll come up like, oh, David posted something, and I'll get 3 words in and go, shit, this is RWBY, and like speed past it. And I don't have to do that anymore. It's great.
It's
But I
great.
definitely saw some throwing some shade at Bumblebee haters on there.
Oh no, like the most petty I was when I took some screenshots from some petitions to get it undone in the show. And I made a video on it, and
Wait,
I'm just like,
to get what undone? Like, what are they mad about?
they're like, Yang is my waifu, and she can't be dating a girl if she's my waifu. She's mine. I own this fictional character. Also, lesbians can't have big boobs. Like they had all sorts of stuff. They also had a lot of like spelling errors. Like I honestly felt like
you're telling me the type of person who would be upset that an anime girl they're crushing on might be into other girls instead of dudes. You're telling me that they would have spelling errors in their angry posts and rants?
No, it was like really bad spelling errors. Like,
I cannot even believe that they would not know how to type and or English properly.
You know, at first I was taking you seriously, but now I realize you're like here. I'll link you the video. Just for
the
funsies,
sarcasm,
like,
through the roof. This is your video?
Like, oh yeah. It was the video I was talking about where I'm just like making fun of their petition and stuff. Yeah. I'm just like, man, you guys. Gosh, you're really grasping for straws. I almost had a follow-up video to that video where I called out a fellow RWBY tuber for using some kind of homophobic comments in relation to these two.
I just hate people so much.
And here's what I also hate is he throws Gavin Free into the whole mess too, because he was like, I was quoting Gavin Free from the RT podcast. But the context and the way Gavin said it was completely different, where it's like, okay, obviously Gavin was making a dumb joke, but the way you said it was aggressive and angry, which then makes it an insult and a slur. Like,
people's inability to read context in 2019 is like it makes me want to stop using the internet. Like, seriously, it kills me. Like there's not like a singular more frustrating thing to me online these days than just people's inability to like understand what people are actually saying when words come out of their mouth. Yeah. It hurts me.
I agree. And also, while we're like on a weird tangent about people not catching subtext or like understanding stuff on the internet, I've seen some like famous RWBY fan artists already like whitewashing Elm and Harriett in their art. And I'm just like,
Elm and Harriett. So here we go. We're gonna do some googling.
2 women of color in the Aesops. You know, big buff lady with Nora, and then fast girl.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so those 2, and they drew them with like obviously white skin, and I was like, oh, hey guys, that's not cool. Like,
well, like Elm is kind of lighter.
Yeah.
So like that one, like as long as there was some color, I could almost see it. But like Harriett is very much.
Yeah, but when I say that like is obviously white in this fan art, I mean like you throw it into Photoshop, you look at the pigment, and it is like way up in that white corner. It's not like
got it.
In any of the
so it was.
It's not in any of the lighter pigments. Yeah. So I'm like, what the heck? And then also like I just want to say this for any people who want to cosplay, don't darken your skin if you're gonna cosplay these people and you're white. You just cosplay as yourself wearing these characters. Don't darken your skin. You don't. 1, it's more effort. 2, it's offensive to people who are of that ethnicity. And 3, why would you do that to yourself? Like just genuinely why? So it and like the cosplay community in general has been having this issue, and I'm just like, people, please don't.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I'll get off my soapbox. That was something I wanted to talk about earlier in the stream when, you know, probably...
Well, we swung back around. See, we hit it. We still got it. It's fine.
Yeah. We're going to swing back around to, like, this good moment with, like, RWBY and Crow, and, like, how they swung back around to, like, mentioning her mother, and, like, almost kind of hinting that her mother could very well still be alive. And also how RWBY was like, I feel like I'm an Ozpin, and he's like, you're not an Ozpin, you were just waiting for Ironwood to prove himself, and there's nothing wrong in that.
Right. She's playing things close to the chest. Like, honestly, I so help me out here before I say this. Where is the fandom at on Ozpin right now? Like how?
So it's a little divided on him. I think some
Okay.
people are slowly, as time has been going on, they've been slowly coming back onto the liking him, and like, or at least understanding why he kept things secret and why he did the things the way they did. But it is still pretty, like, some people are like, we can't trust him. To the other side being like, listen. Just like Ironwood, I think we could kind of trust him, but like methods are questionable, you know.
Interesting. See, because I'm like, I would say like 95% on board with Ozpin still. Aside from him like disappearing and just going, all right, guys,
just
figure it out.
Yeah.
Right. Like that part I'm a little iffy on, but like everything up to that point, like when RWBY held that info from Ironwood.
Yeah.
How did that my
Iron
mind?
Daddy, how could you
so
forget
tired.
Iron Daddy? We talked about him so much.
When she withheld that, I was like, that's my girl. There you go. You've learned something from Ozpin. There, that was the right call. 100%.
I think she learned from Ozpin, but was like, okay, this is the proper way to
She's
do
aware of it, right? Like she's aware that it could be a problem, but I think Ozpin had a lot of really good reasons for playing things close to the chest, and I think that she is doing that well so far. Yeah. Because they don't, especially with the whole military state thing, they don't know if they can treat Ironwood or if they can trust Ironwood at all.
Exactly. And like this volume with like from episode to episode, it's been like whatever comments the fandom has on like episode 2, they get addressed in episode 3, and then like in episode 3, that was when RWBY kind of like, well, in episode 2 she kind of like withheld the information, and then in this episode they like fully addressed it, because everyone was making the Ozpin to RWBY comparison, and this just straight up was like, oh yeah, here's the Ozpin to RWBY comparison, and we're like, well then, you know.
They're doing a good job of seeing how people are going to feel and then addressing it. I like that.
Yeah, or just like predicting how people will feel or what people will say, and then like, hey, we're gonna answer that later on. It's nice. I like it a lot.
Yeah, Inspector Who, absolutely. Like after Leo, like they have to play things close to the chest because they don't know who they can trust. Absolutely. Like Leo was the absolute proof that even the people that Ozpin trusts the most can't be at this point.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, and Ozpin even says that, like, look, you know, these words that you guys are saying to me, like, I've been told this countless times. And then like Leo is a prime example of someone who, like, I'm sure gave him the I'm in this till the end. I'm not going anywhere. You can trust me. Like, you know, we're family. And then to find out that Salem got to him and he's been working for her this whole, you know, for God knows how long.
He had no spine.
Right.
It's like, hey, sir, you might want to go to the back store, buy one, because you're lacking one. Yeah, it's just.
One option I found is out and back on North State Street in Orem.
Siri.
Is that the one you want?
No, I wasn't talking to you.
Sigh.
That was incredible. Is that? Oh.
That was my iPhone.
That's amazing. Sigh.
I'm sorry, Siri. I love you.
Every now and then, Apple just gets it right. That was so good. Oh my god. Chat's freaking out. Like,
yeah.
That was good. Sigh.
Yeah. Oh man. Man, my face is red from that. Gosh.
That was good. That was some good shit.
Yeah.
So back on. Remind me what's happening in this scene with RWBY and Crow, because I don't honestly remember. Okay. I didn't get this far in my rewatch because I was trying to watch the episode.
I'll keep in mind until Siri butted in. We were on topic with what was happening. That's fair. So.
But yeah, I didn't quite get through the whole episode. I was trying to rewatch before we got on, and I only got about halfway through, so I didn't get to this.
Okay.
So remind me what happens here.
Everyone was celebrating with cake and all that. I kind of skipped that picture. Beautiful picture of Penny. I'll put up maybe sometime. But RWBY, she's all standing out in the stands. She's just kind of like not feeling it, you know. And then Crow comes over and he's like, "Hey, what's eating you, kid?" And she's like, you know,
doing the Crow thing.
Yeah, she's like, I just feel like a real Ozpin, you know? And he's like, hey, you're not Ozpin. You're just waiting for Ironwood to prove himself. There's nothing wrong with that because you want to tell him, and you will tell him if it's proper, like if it's right.
Right,
Like,
when it becomes pertinent.
Yeah, and then he's like, you know what? You're just kind of like your mom, you know? And she's like, what? My mom? Tell me more. And then
Tell me more.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, your mom, she had secrets, and she's like, yeah, so was her last mission like an Ozpin secret? He's like, oh no, that was a her secret. Like no one, not even Ozpin knows that secret, and it ate up everyone when we never heard back from her. And it's like,
I had to have zoned out for this conversation because I don't remember any of this, but I am immediately interested in this.
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, like I'm having strong like. Summer, if she's alive, we may see her at the finale, if not after the credits.
So, did we before the season finale of 6, had we actually seen her face and what she looks like before?
Volume 6 was our first visuals of her. There was a picture of her in Volume 3, but it was like on screen for a second. Right.
Because it was very like as soon as when she thought of that as like her memory, it was really easy to go, oh yeah, that's Ruby's mom. No trouble. Yeah. But I started thinking about it, I was like, did I know that was Ruby's mom? Like, have I seen her before? Or is it just like well done? Like good character design?
Uncanny resemblance, yeah. Yeah, I'm really hoping that we get some more information. I'm hoping maybe we'll get like a Summer Rose episode, kind of like how in Volume 3 we had a villains episode.
Also help me out here.
Uh-huh.
Do we know both Raven and Summer were their dad's like teammates, right?
Yes.
Do we know why he was banging both of them? Like, has that been explored at all?
For all we know, Ty also banged Crow. I mean, like honestly, Ty was just getting it. Like, yeah, I mean, like a lot of people have the theory that like him and Raven was just kind of like a one night stand mistake situation, and like, whoops, there's a baby.
Now we have a child.
And we know Raven just yeeted herself out of there once Yang was born. She's like, all right, peace. I'm out of here. I'm not here for this child bull crap. And then Summer was like, oh, what a cute baby. You know what? We could be a family. And then
I like babies. Do you like babies? Because I like babies.
Let's have a second one. Not even a full year apart, by the way. Yeah, that was, you know, a lot of the fandoms talked about it. So there's been a theory. I'm really, really hoping this theory is still just like dead. There was
Yeetus the fetus.
Okay, so so my friend Carly says that all the time because she never wants children. And
I am so
Carly,
dead right now.
My friend Carly, she cosplays Carolina from Red vs. Blue, and if I could find it, it's probably so far deep in the Rooster Teeth Discord archives, but they got a picture of Carolina holding like a baby fetus, and it says "Yeetus the fetus" on there, like she's about to football throw. Agent Carolina
that's
about
good.
To do that.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's definitely Raven's motto. But there used to be a theory, and I'm hoping it's still like a dead theory, and this episode didn't somewhat hint at it, about like some people thought because Crow and Ty seem to have like butt heads just a little bit, that maybe Crow had a thing for Summer, and that Crow might be the real father of Ruby, and I'm really hoping that's not.
I would not like that at all.
No. And I remember, I think Monty himself at some point had said, like, no.
Yeah, no, not a thing.
Well, okay, so he said that before Volume 3. And then I think after Volume 3, it was up to Miles and Carrie to have to, like, try to continue to shoot it down. But, yeah. I don't know. Fandom has some whack theories sometimes. Anyway, I'm taking that off the screen. Let's see. Yeah, they've canceled that theory. Yeah, I'm hoping they like actually canceled it, because you know there's times where like show producers like, oh yeah, that'll never be a thing.
And then 2 seasons later, it's like, hey, yeah, this was the plan the whole time. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah. Gosh. They're like, you guys were totally not smart. Okay, just to trigger you, here's more Jean.
Oh no, I gotta prepare. I don't want
The
to.
mission board moment. Also, like, I love Yang's face in the background, how she just looks very smug or slightly on drugs. But yeah, just so they, now that they're official, they're picking out missions and stuff, and we talked about the thirsty moms.
The thirsty moms.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not Jean, it's Jim.
Yeah, I was saying that. No, it's Juan. What is that guy's name? Because Marrow was totally butchering his name.
Yeah, I remember that.
How about you, good citizen? So. Yeah,
definitely
I don't know
mid-blink.
if I caught it mid-blink. It just looked like just a look. It might be a mid-blink that just looked like a proper facial expression to me, like, haha, loser. I don't know. She looks a bit baked, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that has to be mid-blink, because otherwise it would absolutely be like Hai Yang.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to what that may lead to in the next episode, if it is the thirsty moms.
Oh my god, we need that shot for sure.
Yeah, it's like, please give it to us. I mean, the fandom is like willing it to an existence right now, so if it doesn't happen tomorrow, I'm gonna be like sad. So I'm gonna take that off screen and quickly jump onto the last screenshot, just because we're kind of hitting near the end of the stream and the episode discussion already, but Watts, just,
Oh, because Lord, we've been live for almost 2 hours. Holy wow.
I know. We're going on a bit longer than we usually do, but that's okay.
It's Kenway is Tangent City. This is what we do.
Yeah. It's like the conversation hasn't died, so like.
Oh, this.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like this at all.
Yeah.
I don't like any of this at all.
So back to my conspiracy board.
Yeah.
This would be like, and then Watts, he connects to the election, but he also connects to Jacque, and then which connects to Ironwood, and then possibly Penny. So like, there's all these connections. Like, I would even draw like a line between him and Penny's father and have question marks, being like possible partners before Watts died. So yeah, It also, you think someone
because he came out and said, like, when he was walking through the city, that he had written a lot of the code for like the city's existence when he was there, right?
Yeah, and at first it sounded like that was Mantle specific, but I guess that was even up in Atlas as well. But you think someone like the Schnee family would update their firmware once in a while, but I guess they didn't. And Watts is just like, playing watchdogs.
Oh, Steven has a good point there. Papa Schnee yelled at Whitley for letting someone in, but they have servants now. Shouldn't Klein have opened the door unless he got fired? That's a good point.
Yeah, a lot of
Klein,
people have been.
Klein let Weiss go.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I wouldn't be surprised if like Jacque had a trophy room, and we just see Klein in there.
Like, oh wow, yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm going like real dangerous game here on us. Like,
yeah, which would be sad because I like Klein, but like he is the one who let Weiss escape and helped her in that.
It's
and I'm sure that came out.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I mean, I bet like Whitley probably. David, no. I'm sorry. I just do that. Apparently
you got all those harsh theories tonight.
Yeah, I don't know why the dark stuff. I think we just came out with enough salt from OBS to which carried over to the RWBY discussion, and this is just like that carrying over. Yeah, there. Carbonite. So like, Carbonite's nice.
Klein is dead. Jacque killed him, and Watts is going to reprogram Penny to kill the world.
Woo!
This is where you're going down in history on tonight.
Yeah. It's like the last 3 episodes.
VYTALCast After Dark.
Yeah. I guess we're going there. Lee, I promise next week when you're on, we'll try to be a lot lighter than this. Unless you take it down this path, then. Oops.
It's because Kenway opened up with all that shade, That's what it is. Like, you were already in a bad mood, and then I brought the shade in, and then it's just been like, just punches ever since.
Yeah, because I was like, I want to do a slideshow, and then OBS was like, screw that, and then thanks. But yeah, Watts. What do you think like Watts would have wanted to fake his death for?
I have no idea, honestly.
I mean,
I still don't have a great read on him aside from knowing that he's definitely the clever one of the baddies.
yeah.
He definitely, like, I don't know what to call his stereotype character, but he fits it perfectly. Because this guy exists in so many shows where, like, he's the tech
strategic
guy.
mastermind. He's like Littlefinger.
Absolutely. He's got the strategy thing going on, and he's really smart because he's tech savvy. So he's got, like, he thinks he's got, his little fingers wrapped around the whole thing going on.
Yeah.
But, like, something somewhere is going to be not right about this guy beyond the fact that he's obviously a bad dude, right? Like, there's something more that is not going to be good, I'm sure.
I wonder, like, what turned him, like, that's been, like, the big question is, like, okay, what made him go bad? And I wonder if, like, something to do with Penny or, like, her creator and Jacque have something to do with it, or even Ironwood,
Yeah.
Like, what if Ironwood, with the whole surveillance thing, he wanted to go the surveillance thing, and then Watts wanted to go, like, a few steps further than that or something, and Ironwood said no, like, this is where we draw the line, and that's what turned him. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm that is one that I don't have a whole lot of good theory on, but I'm both excited and worried as hell to find out more about him, because that type of character that he's fulfilling always ends up being a major problem somewhere, somehow, and I'm not excited to find out how that's gonna be.
Yeah, I made the Littlefinger reference. I'm now wondering if Ironwood is Ned Stark.
Oh, don't do that to me. Don't do that. Don't make me relive that. No.
I'm sorry. I just spoiled Volume 7 for everyone. But it's just... Yeah, also, who was it? Okay, Verif in the chat was saying, speaking of villains, we're 4 chapters in and still no Cinder and Neo.
Can I just talk about how happy I am that Neo came back?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, that's all I need. When she came out, I was very excited and then very confused as to why she was fighting Cinder, but then Cinder made it make sense. And it hurts me for her because I love Neo so much, but seeing her wear Torchwick's hat is just so satisfying. Like, I feel so bad for her, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, you rock the hat, girl. Like, you deserve this.
Yeah, and also, speaking of, like, Neo's comeback and her return, I'm not sure if I told you this, but back in Volume 4 days, and I think I might have said this during RTX 2018 as well, during the VYTALCast panel, the first VYTALCast panel, I was like, yeah, so I had this theory about Neo and how she'll come back, and my theory was she would have been hunting down Team Ranger during Volume 4, because she's wanting revenge on RWBY, and then during a conflict fight with RWBY's like, no, stop fighting me, I didn't kill Roman, a Grimm killed Roman, and who brought the Grimm? Cinder, go fight her. And then she'd do that. But they took that and they flipped it. They're like, oh, she goes after Cinder. Cinder says, no, blame Little Red. And then,
like, we have a common enemy.
Yeah, I'm like, dang, they took my theory and they twisted it. I want
like, you were almost right.
I want
you were almost credit.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I was, like, almost convinced there that when she showed back up that, like, she was going to talk. And I was like, is it going to happen? And then it didn't. And I was like, okay, that was the right choice. Yeah. But I was like, I was really anticipating it with how she came back. And I'm glad that they haven't done it. But I was like, what does Neo sound like? What is going on?
Yeah. Also, Stephen was like, does that make Jacque Cersei Lannister? As far as the Game of Thrones
I don't know if he's clever enough.
I mean,
like, he's just kind of, I think he's just kind of a dick. I'd almost like,
I mean,
I would almost
coming at least.
Yeah, I would almost pull more of a line to him, like, not as far as status goes, but character-wise, I'd almost draw him to, like, Joffrey, like the spoiled.
would
has it all, angry and doesn't make good decisions.
I would say
Character.
he's probably like what is his name? Jonathan Baratheon, or what was the king?
The one that came at the
Rob.
beginning of the
Yeah,
series,
the beginning.
Robert.
He might be like Robert, and then Whitley's the Joffrey.
But
And-
Whitley doesn't seem angry.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't seem like angry and shitty.
I don't know. Like I don't know. I would say he could be like Cersei, just because like, oh, he's using Littlefinger to some advantages, but is also just like more power hungry for the throne than anything.
I definitely want to see more about like the relationship between Jacque and Watts. Like it worries me. But they don't get a whole lot into what that dynamic between them is
I
yet.
blow your mind with the theory that they're siblings.
Right. Oh, they're siblings.
Yeah. So some people like I know my friend Cal.
We're thinking like a half
brothers.
like half brothers maybe.
I don't know whether it's half or full blood, but like people are
'cause,
just like they are related by blood somehow. And oh my gosh, Lee did it.
That's
She
interesting.
really did it. I just went on Twitter and I'm like, oh my gosh, she did it.
Uh-oh.
She posted the picture. Yeah, I'll open it in the browser and then I'll.
Oh yeah, please do. Save me some time.
Yeah. Boop. Oh wait, hold on. Hide Watts. There it is. There I am with my conspiracy board. on the stream. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know if you're looking at the right spot.
There we go.
There we go. Thank you so much,
Yes.
Lee. You helped so much. Bless you. But yeah, there's been a theory that because of their mustaches and similar nature and being jerks,
She's like similar demeanor.
Yeah.
That could be. Well, I just wonder because like everyone in the Schnee family has that same like no color to them at all, like both in their skin, their hair, like they all have like a very same look. And so
Yeah.
like pulling Watts into that dynamic would be like a very strange thing for me. But I
Yeah.
could see it.
Well, we know like Jacque's natural hair color is black, due to like a World of Remnant side episode.
Oh.
Because
I guess I haven't. I think I've watched any of those.
yeah.
I'm not a real fan, apparently.
Yeah, so he married into the Schnee family and he took on the Schnee name. So he didn't have that name, and Weiss hinted at that in Volume 4. She's like, "You married into this family for this name."
I must have
And-
missed that.
And
What?
so Jacque,
I don't belong on this show. I am so sorry.
No, it's all right. It's all right. You
What
had
the
like
hell?
2 days to consume this show, and so he dyed his hair from being black to white. And Stephen is saying like it's on his portrait in his office. So if you look in the background, you'll see that he had black hair originally.
Okay,
So-
no, then that would make a lot more sense. Then
Yeah.
I could see that. That would be, ooh, that'd be interesting. That'd be an interesting dynamic for sure.
Yeah, so some people are thinking that might be another reason why he and Watts are related. But
Yeah, I'm definitely interested to find out more about that dynamic for
Yeah.
sure.
maybe they were half brothers, because Verif is saying, according to the World of Remnant, his name was Jacques Gallet. Gallet? How would you?
I have
pronounce that?
no idea.
Yeah, I'm like,
Jacques Jelly is what I.
Yeah.
No, I'm not sure.
yeah. Oh, I did get it. Okay. Steven still holding on to the theory. He's like, or it's Arthur Gallet, and Watts is just a cover name.
It could be.
Yeah. He's
It
like,
very well could be.
he's like, now that I'm like high up in the business world or becoming a supervillain, I'm gonna change my name. The G sounds like a J. It's French for.
Oh, it's French for frozen. Interesting.
That would make sense, just like his heart. Frozen.
Jacques Gillet.
Yeah.
Jacques Gillet.
Jacques Frozen.
One of the two.
Just like his heart.
Jacques Frozen. There we go.
Yeah.
Now we got it.
Wait a second. Jack Frost. It's a Jack Frost
Damn it!
reference.
It is. You are so right.
We said it right before
I'm
Varys'
done.
thing came up. We're like, I'm like, huh? Jack Frost. Oh! Gosh,
God
dang
damn
it.
it.
Boy, we are galaxy braining it here. You know, our gamer galaxy brains are just like
Yeah, no
You know.
kidding. Oh my god.
Oh man. Anyway,
What?
do you have
What?
any last comments
What a
for
discussion.
VYTALcast?
I feel like I had so like I didn't make a list. I should have made a list. I feel like I had a lot to, like to say that we just like didn't get to, and which is fine.
Yeah.
But no, I'm really excited to see where the season goes. I think I am more anticipating the rest of Volume 7 than I have like watching any of RWBY so far. I'm really interested to see where this thing goes, and I hope that it doesn't turn into what the what happened, the weird string to draw.
Yeah.
But I hope it doesn't turn into, what is it, Mockingjay, the last game or the last book in the Hunger Games series, where like everything gets like too weirdly political and like focused away from the main story.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I'm real excited.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all here to see revolution happen, but yeah.
Yeah, I just don't want it to like the to get off on a weird tangent. Like Mockingjay in that series was like the first 2 books were like incredible, and then like the third one was like just real weird, right?
Well, I just
like
remember everyone
like
hated the ending because she went with,
the tone of the whole thing from start to finish was just, it felt off. And I'm praying that we don't like do too, or like even like earlier with the Star Wars, like when they went to the prequels from the first or from 4, 5, and 6, like everything got like uber political and off track out of where for no reason. So I'm hoping they don't go that deep with it, but I am interested to see what happens with the election and everything else that's going on.
Yeah. Also, Trey in the chat, or TRE if it's not pronounced Trey, he's saying, "Hey, how's it going? New here," and it's like, man, you're catching us right at the butt end of the stream.
Right at the end.
I'm so sorry, but also he said I see your aura levels, but you spell it like aura, like as in a JoJo reference, which I got here. I'm just gonna grab I got a JoJo poster right there.
Do you really?
Yeah, yeah, and it's actually where aura started coming up. So
that's good.
Yeah. Anyway, it was a good discussion, a good thing, and oh man, I am having people just messaging me like crazy. But anyway, I think that.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah,
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm glad that my offhand comment at RTX actually led to doing something.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's how I got roped into that panel. Anyways, was like an offhanded comment. Like,
oh, was it?
Yeah, because man, Liam, he was the guardian for the VYTALcast panel last year in 2018.
Yeah.
And one of my panelists had a crush on him, but he was taken sadly. She did like a whole RTX misconnections for him and everything. But
that's adorable.
He was like, oh hey, you know, like what if we did a podcast panel next year? I'm like, oh yeah, that'd be fun. And then like and then earlier this year comes up, he's like, yo, so I did the submission, you're on it, and we got accepted. I'm like, what? So like I had like totally forgotten about it. I'm like, oh yeah. And then,
yeah, that was a really good time too, and I had a lot of fun like just like talking to you and stuff, hanging out. So when I was like, hey, also I'd love to come on VYTALcast, like it made a lot more sense then, because like I was actively doing YouTube stuff, and I had like this whole other thing where it was like, oh, I'm coming on to like be on your show, and it'll like rep what I've got going on. Like, it's a good handshake thing. And now I'm just like, well, hey, I mean, I'll still come on. This will be fun. Like I told you, I'd be there. I'd love to come do it. I mean, so
you still do your Twitch streams now and then, and like you could always start with a new podcast and stuff.
Yeah. And I guess like for to plug my own stuff, follow me on Twitter. You know, is the best place, because everything that I do ends up there eventually.
Yeah. Also, Trey in the chat, like, dude, thank you so much for like being so supportive. Like, I am loving all this support, even though you came in right at the butt end. Like,
post notifications
on, dude. He is in it. Like, dude, thank you so much.
We stand.
Yeah, we stand you standing. So yeah.
Anyway, yeah, seriously, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, as always. And as guys, thanks guys. Like, this was a great episode of VYTALcast. Next week we got Lee stays dabbing. I want to say stabbing, but it's dabbing. Lee stays dabbing as our guest next week. And as always, I will boop